Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
The FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show.
Hello, all you beautiful people out there.
Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
Think that evolution is real. Chemtrails don't exist. Vaccines work. Climate change is happening. We landed on the moon. The FTFE show.
Check.
Welcome to the FTFE show. Welcome to the FTFE show. Scooty, it's not alright. Baby, it's not alright.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hello, welcome to episode 18 of the FTFE show with me, your host, FTFE, otherwise known as a big ugly specky dude called Craig. And you Americans, listen up closely, Craig. Not Craig, or Greg, or Crag. Okay, guys? Craig. Say it after me. Yeah, you especially, you there. Yeah. Craig. Got it? Toon, I know you're there listening. He is there. He's gone quiet. Yeah, he's doing his intro over there. Hello everybody, welcome to the show today. We're going to just have a bit of fun. Me and MCToon are both streaming together. You may have noticed. If you haven't also got his stream open, you should do that. And basically, Toon's going to tell me what to do. And he's got some video of a crazy person that we're going to watch. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I hope you're all well out there in the wonderful world. And I hope you are having a wonderful week. And sorry I haven't been here so far this week. As you know, I have been struggling with mental health issues, but I'm getting through them. I'm feeling a bit better, a bit more myself the past couple of days, had a little bit of sleep, etc. So, I am ready to rock and kick Flerfs ass. I shall stream for the next few days, and new videos are in production. I have like 3 recorded that I'm editing and getting ready to go. So, yes, let's get up MCToon on the other side, and I'm going to need to add myself there. Right. Hello everybody in the chat. Hello Darren. Thank you. 199 says love your vids. Greg, get out. I literally just told you how to say my name.
Hey Greg. Craig.
So,
How you doing?
Repeat
Greg?
after me.
Craig. Sorry.
Craig.
Jeez. I'm sorry. What's that?
Craig.
Craig.
No. Say k.
Huh?
And then say Raig.
Reg.
No, Ray.
Ray? Who's Ray?
K.
Who's
Ray.
Ray?
No. I'll break it down into 3 parts for you. I know I speak for slow for you guys over the pond. K. Ray. G.
I know what you're talking about. Anyway, we've got hello everybody over on Craig's stream. How are you? I hope you can see me.
Yeah.
Wait, can they
just
see
so
me?
you know, I definitely didn't tell everyone that you smell. If anyone's told you that I said that you smell, they're lying and they're big movies.
In fact, I got to tell you, it's a bit warm today, and I've been sitting in this room all day, and we don't have air conditioning, so
you never leave your basement, of course. What are you on about?
I just might. I do have a fan over there blowing in from the garage, and another one right here. I have 2 fans.
You got a fan here as well.
I'll be fine.
I'm one of your fans.
I'll be fine. So
wait. Before you start, I think we just need to say a special hello to one of the most amazing community members, Globermum. Hello, Globermum.
Yes.
I am glad you are here watching, and I really hope that you're feeling a bit better. I know you've been really struggling lately with your issues. Just so you know, I love you, and I know Toon does as well. He just won't say it.
Yeah, I won't. Okay. Before we start, though, I want to say I got a message from Steven. Steven, who's on Facebook. Steven Sabili, I think, and he said that his son is headed off to college, university, and over here we just call it college for the first 4 years, but. So he says he's gonna anyway. His son's gonna go work on a 4-year course in computer science with cybersecurity, and he lives in. You probably won't have heard of this place. A place called Fife.
Yeah, no, Fife is one of those. It's like a myth, kind of like Loch Ness monster. It doesn't actually exist. I don't know who's been telling you lies, but it's not a real place.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's going to go to Abertay University. So I'd like to say
awesome
to his son, let's see, Alex. Is it Alex? I want to make sure I get it right. Yes, Alex. Alex, that's very exciting. I studied computer science as well. That's what I've done for my career. It's a great choice. And your dad says that you've been teaching yourself Java for fun. That's what I look for in a Java.
He's been doing Java for fun?
Yes.
Okay, should we get him his therapist now?
You'll get a chance, Craig. Anyway, so Alex, work hard, study hard, get this stuff learned. Cybersecurity is a fantastic field, super high demand. You get that stuff down and you're going to be set. So Craig, anyway, anything you'd like to say to Alex from your neck of the woods there?
Welcome to this wonderful, wonderful part of the world. And I hope you do have an amazing time in college. Please go and check out all the sites in Fife there. Fife is literally one of the most beautiful places in the world. So if you're over here studying, have a look around and good luck. Proud of you. Anyone that's going to college and trying to better themselves is good in my books, but also if you're doing Java for fun, yeah, I don't know, just get a therapist on standby or something. Yeah, Java for fun.
Have you ever written Java?
This is an impression of me writing Java.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. Java's great. Love it. I love it. Okay. So
Daryl,
we have.
It says, "Sorry, Crane, my bad." And then Popra says, "Keurig." No, that's the coffee things, not. Oh my God.
Keurig.
Yeah.
Okay, so Craig and the members of your audience and my audience may be wondering why you have been assembled here tonight, and the answer is because we have been assigned by NASA to go over. Just a second, I need a little sip here. NASA has assigned us to go over some material claimed by somebody that says that he was on the military moon base.
Well, you know, when you say assigned, what you mean is held our family hostage until we do it.
No, that's not. Shh. Anyway, so are you ready to? Are you showing on what I have?
Yeah, I want my family to be free. I've been ready for ages, ever since they took my family and said you're doing this or else.
Here we go. We're going to get the introduction. So I need to introduce you first to Michael Sala. Michael Sala is a doctor. I don't know if he really is a doctor.
He's doctor?
He has a degree, he says, in government. PhD in government from a university in Australia.
Did you just say he has a degree in government?
Some sort. Yeah, I don't know. Don't care. Doesn't matter. He's clearly not well. Anyway, his name's Michael Sala. He specializes in exopolitics, something like that. You know, the politics between the world that we live on and other entities in space. Other entities in space, like
hold on. Space
human
isn't
races.
Real. There's no such thing as.
No, this is the other end of the nutcase spectrum.
I have been reliably informed by at least 1,000 people in the past 5 years that space is fake and gay.
Well, you're gonna hear the other side of it now. This is where magic is even more magical than in Flerfland.
Space is amazing, though, isn't it? Like today, for
All right.
instance, we a new world record of the most people in orbit at the same time.
Oh yeah, with Polaris Dawn.
Yes, an apogee of 14,000 kilometers.
That's pretty big.
1,400 kilometers, sorry.
That's what she said.
Yeah, boom. And a perfect image of the Earth, exactly as we predict at that altitude. And all of the Flerfs are starting to cry. But it looks like an egg. So I took a photo of my football. And I'm wondering why my football that I took a photo of looks like an egg. I don't understand it. Why would it be an egg?
Oh, I don't know. MK Ultra says space is gay? Where can I get some?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh.
It's not just gay, it's fake and gay, apparently.
It's both.
Yeah.
I don't know how it can be both. If it's fake, it can't be anything else. After the fake, nothing else is allowed. Man of War says, Happy 2-day. Praise Titicaca, Hail Sagan. And don't forget, stupidity is not a right.
He's damn right. Darren 499 says, don't hit your head, Caramble. You're pre-warming the headache. Yeah, I'm just going to give up trying to teach you guys to say my name.
Caramble. CJ Lamros is twins. Kidding. Love you guys.
Twins. We look nothing alike. Both
Okay.
drinking.
It's funny how we get called that.
I know.
I love it. It's funny. All right. I'm going to play this. And if you're not ready for it to be showing on your screen, then it's a loss for your audience. They'll all come over to my video.
We're ready.
Daryl James served with the United States Navy for 7 years, and during his service, he was approached about doing some work with a secret space program. He was recruited, taken to the moon, where he spent time there. He signed very extensive documents. Then he was taken to Mars, where he eventually signed up or worked
Stop.
Yeah.
Sorry. Who was taken to the moon and then Mars?
Never mind. Let's just plow on. You're going to love it.
Dark Fleet, known as the Nutwaffen, and eventually he was rescued or taken away from the service with the Dark Fleet by Nordic extraterrestrials who introduced him to the Solar Warden space program.
Right.
I'm sorry, there's a lot to unpack there. Someone went to the moon and then Mars, met space Nords.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's Nordic people in space. So people from, the northeast of Europe from space.
No. Turns out space Nordics I think they're from Pleiades.
So not from Finland and stuff then?
They basically look like the band ABBA from their prime.
Oh, right. So
and they live
they look human.
Thousands of years. Yeah, thousands of years. They're kind of the Rivendell elves of space.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're really good at shooting arrows?
Space arrows, of course.
Space arrows, right. And what program was it? The Solar Warden program.
Yeah, that comes at the end.
I mean, it sounds fun. Can I apply?
No.
Why? But I want to be a Solar Warden.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh.
No, I'm eating my dinner, by the way. This is my dinner. So.
Level.
Shh, Bev, we're not talking.
Well, welcome, Daryl, to Exopolitics Today.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me, Dr. Zala.
Now, I just did a brief intro. Is there anything you wanted to add or elaborate to that intro before we get into the actual questions I have for you?
By the way, since we're talking about extraterrestrials, the guy on the right, that's right down here, that's Michael Sala that I was talking about. His eyebrows are actually a binary pair of extraterrestrials.
No, I'm pretty sure they're just trying to escape his face.
They've taken over. That's their base.
I mean, those aren't his normal eyebrows. I think maybe
they ate his normal eyebrows and
Yeah.
then have implanted
Right.
themselves into the follicles. Yeah.
So it's like those aliens from episode 14 of season 1 of The Next Generation that took over the Federation by going inside them, except their eyebrows. This is the worst episode of Star Trek yet.
Yep. They do talk about the Galactic Federation.
Oh, right.
It's a good intro.
Okay, all right. So why don't we begin? And now you told me something in a pre-interview we did about you and your father telepathically communicating, and your father having psychic abilities. That struck me as very, very unusual. So tell me
that's
about
definitely
that
unusual.
and your kind of background as you were raised.
Oh, sorry, what? This is all normal.
No,
Totally
hold on.
normal.
He said that he telepathically communicates with his dad. That's
Who doesn't?
me.
Here, hold on. I'm going to send you a message. It's going to be a number.
Q.
No. We'll get to that letter later. Let's try a number again. Ready?
42.
That was it. How'd you
Yeah.
know?
Well, it's the answer, isn't it?
It is always the answer. Oh, John Blues also got it right. The Canadian Space Advocate said the wrong number. I don't know why. All right. Seriously, this guy's nuts. You can't. Every time he says something crazy, you can't interrupt. You have to just
What are you
let
about?
them
Look
build
at-
up a little bit.
That's the face of a sane person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was probably around 3 or 4 years old, and I remember watching Sesame Street on the couch with my dad. And he said to me telepathically, it wasn't what we called it, but it was just something we could do. He said, "Do you think you'll be able to do this when you get older?" He said, "Your sister used to be able to do it, but as she grew older, she stopped." And I said, "Yeah, Dad, I'll remember." And I remember he got up and he went to go to the kitchen, and he turned around and he looked at me and he said, "If you can remember how to do this, you'll be able to see your future and the future of others."
Wow.
And then I've met other families as well.
Now remember, he can see his future.
He's talking like this is just a
see-
normal thing. That
From 3 years old, he knows
Yeah.
he can see his future.
because he can telepathically communicate with his dad.
Yep. Yep. Something like that.
Maybe
Family
he-
from church called the Hinkleys, they could all do it. And I knew a girl named Jen, who was a friend of my sister's. And it was my
Sister's friends are always the hottest. Am I right?
sister's birthday
What? One in the chat for yeah.
on Halloween. And Jen invited me because she would talk to my dad and stuff like that. She knew we were telepaths. She would talk to myself and my dad. And she invited me over for a Halloween party. And as soon as we walked into the house, she grabbed me by the hand and pulled me into her mother's room. Her mother was getting ready for a Halloween party. She was dressing up something that looked like, Stevie Nicks and Elvira kind of mixed together. And we were all they were speaking telepathically together. And she said,
He just walks into a room, no sound. Everybody's just like,
This is just totally normal. I mean, don't you remember the Christmas get-togethers with your family where you all just sat in a room and telepathically communicated with each other?
yeah. I mean, this guy, Michael's not on screen right now, Michael Sala. But when he's on screen, he's just like, yeah, that's normal. Just watch his face. Other than that, well, the aliens on his eyebrows.
"Father can do it." She said, "Yes." She said, "And the mother?" And she said, "Not as much." And she said, "What about the sister?" And she said, "No." And the woman kind of took me by the chin. I was only about 10 or 11 and lifted my head up. And I locked eyes with her. When that happened, it was like the whole room kind of changed colors, like orange and red and like flecks of blue and things like that. And I remember some of the girls out, in the TV room outside of the bedroom were like yelling and screaming. And she kind of shook my head and said, "You're a powerful little boy. You know that, don't you?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Good, I'll go play." And that did something to me. I later on found out it put me in the partial fifth density. She did something on accident. She didn't mean to do it.
Put him into the partial fifth density.
So, put him into the partial fifth density?
Yeah, so let me introduce the concept of the densities. We live in the third density, of course, duh. And there are people that can travel betwixt the third and fourth densities. And now he's somehow able to see something in the fifth density,
But only
whatever that
partially.
means. What does the third or fourth or fifth density mean? Magic. It's all just magic,
But,
right?
I mean, someone... He has a memory of someone telling him he's a powerful boy.
Yes, and that put him in the 5th density.
Maybe he just misunderstood what they were saying, and like they were trying to hint about his hygiene or something.
I have a different answer.
Yeah,
there's a different answer. We'll get to that.
It happened.
Now,
So now watch Michael Salah's face as this guy says insane things.
in terms of any kind of psychic abilities other than telepathy, was there anything else that was kind of unusual in your upbringing?
Not in my upbringing, but I remember Jen's mom, she liked me, and she basically kind of wanted.
Ooh, Jen's mom.
I
don't know. Jen's mom, Stacy's mom.
Me to marry her daughter. Whatever was in my bloodline or whatever, she wanted it in hers. And I found out she's a Cabalist. The father was like high-ranking mafia.
She's a Cabalist. The father is high-ranking mafia. Okay.
And she wanted his blood in their bloodline for some...
Yeah, this is great.
Because look at him. He is the
mafia.
pinnacle of man, right? You want that in your bloodline?
Yeah. It gets good. It gets good. Watched the whole thing. All of it. The reason why I watched the whole thing is because there were some spots that I had to chop out. So this is an edited version of it, by the way.
This is edited crazy.
I edited this whole thing.
And just to be clear, this wasn't AI generated. This is real people talking, right?
This is real people saying real things on real YouTube channels, putting it out there as if they're talking true.
And just to check, right, in my chat and in Toon's chat, do any of you remember psychic conversations with your family? 1 in the chat for yes, 2 in the chat for what are you smoking, Crag? I'm just not going to even say my name correctly anymore. There's no point. None of you do.
Let's see. PJ for $2 says Nordic extraterrestrials are not on my bingo card. And then 3Ron says, do they have disequilibrium in their densities?
Janos Tacos for 512 Huff says Space Nords equals Borgs. It sounds Swedish.
Oh, yeah, it does sound Swedish.
Who Stole Halleck for $2 says, isn't this the plot to the next Bethesda game? Well, it better be fucking better than the disappointment that was Starfield.
All I know is Clash Royale.
Clash, that's not an actual game.
I know, that's why that's the only one I play.
I'm a Helldiver lately. It's hard fighting the Tyranid hordes and the automatons. Tim Tully's been a member for 37 months and says, stay away from the Maid of Fife. No, they should definitely go there. CJ Lamerix has been a member for half a year. Figure I'd pop over and say hi. Back to Toon's channel. Oi! Get back over here! Alright, just so you guys know, whoever gets more super chats, Toon or me, will get naked. We agreed before the stream that's what would happen.
Nope.
Whoever got the most super chats would have to get naked.
These are things that won't happen.
Well, only because you're not going to get the most super chats, obviously.
Okay, fine. When I take a shower next, I will do that.
What 2030 is your next one due, or?
It's the 11th. I've got 20 days to go. So, all right. Hold on. I do. Ashton Rashid, Craig. He says, you don't game? Nerd cred removed. Hold on a second. The only game that I allow myself to play regularly is Clash Royale on my phone. I only do that because I got into other games. I got too far into it. For your benefit, for your viewing pleasure, I have taken that one thing that I do a lot of and put it into debunking nonsense. So that's where it's at. It's much better spent doing that than World of Warcraft, I'll tell you.
Uncle Charlie, don't worry, I got Space Marine 2 as well. We're working on that.
Okay, I do like to play games. A couple weeks ago, I went to St. Paul. There's an arcade there. You pay a cover charge and you play all the video games you want for free. That was awesome.
That sounds good.
Super awesome. And then, then afterwards we went to a little bit of a seedy bar, and I had some iced tea. I had 2 iced teas. Ooh, that was a lot. All right. Anyway, let's hear a little more of this.
I was able to look down timelines, as they call it, like kind of see what my future would have been if I did wind up, marrying Jen. And I looked down that because I liked her. And
that's just called imagining.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's called liking a girl and thinking about your. I'm not gonna lie.
Just a second.
When I was younger, I would look at girls that I like and think, yeah, a future with them would be nice. That's not seeing the future. That's being able to imagine something.
Oh, just wait for how very specific it is. You will not. This isn't. I can envision a nice future with her. This is very specific. You listen. This is nutso.
16 and she was around 18 or 19, 15. I think I was like 15 and she was around 18. We went to New York, got married.
This is his viewing of the future.
We had like a girl and 2 boys, and it kind of led up to something like we were in a warehouse one time, and I told this to Jen before she left for New York for good. Like in
I'm not surprised
real life, this
mate.
is me looking down the timeline when I was younger. And I said, we were in a warehouse by the dock. And she said lots of business happens in the dock. She's kind of wise to the whole mafia thing. And we had a system worked out where the mother would be in another room. I would speak to her telepathically. And the father, the guy who was in the mob, he had an earpiece in, and she would tell him everything that I could see, that was happening during this meeting. And one time, somebody walked in, and I guess he was wise to the things I could do. And I remember I said he has a gun above his right ankle. Like, I could just sense that. And
this is his vision of the future.
As soon as I said that, he pulled his gun out and shot me. And then the father shot him. I remember seeing the funeral. My father died of a heart attack not long after that. And then my mother committed suicide with pills not long after that. And then, my sister was all alone. And I just looked at Jen's mother and I said, I can't be with Jen. I'm sorry. Like, I can't do that. It'll destroy my family. And it was just like, it was very much like living a different life, how it felt. It was, just different details and things like that I could remember. And I could see all these things. Yeah, I was just looking down a timeline if I would have chose that path.
So he could see the future. This comes in later.
Of all the things,
What do you think about this?
Of all
This
the
very
things that have never
specific
happened,
future.
yeah, of all the things that have never happened, right? That has never happened the most.
Yeah. Jen's dad has a gun above his ankle. He said that in his vision, and then Jen's dad pulled out the gun above his ankle and pop, and then, yep.
Yeah, but also he was in another room, telepathically telling his dad via an earpiece what to tell his mum.
I don't know. It's
It's like this guy has written fan fiction about his own life.
Yeah, it's not even good fan fiction. So, by the way, just a little message to Craig's live chat. Over here on this one, members have a new member emoji. You might want to pop on over and give it a little taste. All right, anyway.
A little tickle.
Yeah, hit that new member emoji that I just dropped in.
Okay, so you have those precognitive abilities that you use in that case. Now, you mentioned that as a child, you were tested for your IQ and you got a very high score.
Of course he did.
Well,
Is it 160?
Yeah. Is it more than 160? Because, Austin's is 160 and it towers over everybody else's. You wait.
I kind of goofed off in school. I didn't have a good attention span and I found it boring. And so they tested my IQ.
Oh, sounds an awful lot like Wizit.
Yeah. Basically, you were dumb, but you got tested for being smart. For some reason, because that's what they do with all the dumb, annoying kids that aren't paying attention. They test their IQ.
Oh, it's so good.
All the woman really said was, my mother, I remember, I was very little. I don't know, I think I was about 7. And my mother said, how smart is he? And she said, he's very smart. He's a college graduate. And she just basically said, yes, he's very smart. And later on, in my future, this goes on later on in the story, I found out the exact number of my IQ.
That's foreshadowing.
Yeah, well, that's very, very relevant. We will get to that shortly. So in 1999, you joined the U.S. Navy. So you want to tell us, what was it that attracted you to serving?
Well, what attracted me was, my father just passed away of a heart attack. I really didn't have it.
So hold on, get this. He had a vision of of his future where he got shot. And in that future, after he got shot, his dad had died of a heart attack.
Yeah.
And in the real world, his dad died of a heart attack.
Now, as an ex-Royal Navy sailor, I know that when you apply for the military and you go, there's psychological analysis and stuff. Is that not a thing for America?
Apparently not.
No, they just let any
Apparently
fucking crazy in.
Yep. All right. It's anything. Yep.
In my life at the time. I had an uncle that was one of the original frogmen of World War II, and another uncle that was one of the original Seabees of World War II. So I decided to go into the Seabees.
So, all right.
So,
his age, I don't know. How
his
old
uncle
is he?
was the original frogman.
So if it was in the 90s that he went into the military, right?
1999, yeah.
He was approximately 18 years old in
So he's just a
1999.
little bit older than me. He joined the military like 3-4 years before I did, apparently.
Yeah. So now, a guy who was 18 years old in 1999, his uncle was in World War II. His dad's brother or mom's brother was in World War II.
So basically, he's the same age as me.
Yes.
And
Okay.
his uncle was in World War II.
Yes. Could any of your uncles be of the correct age to be in World War II?
My granddad was in World War II. And
so great uncle.
And to be clear, when my granddad was in World War II, he was 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if my granddad was alive today, he would be 96 if he was alive today, I think. So,
yeah.
No.
GBS Warrior has a good point. He's his own grandpa.
Oh,
Could
well,
be he's
yeah, makes sense.
could be foreshadowing. All right.
I see only
And,
59 likes,
those
guys.
are the main
Smash
factors
that
at the
like
time.
button.
Yeah. Okay.
When I joined the Navy.
Okay. And for those that don't know, you want to explain what the CBs are?
Construction battalions. So yeah, I was a builder in the construction battalion.
Okay. So the Navy has these CBs that, I guess, build bridges and build port facilities for ships that arrive in different places?
Yeah, anything from bridges to like showers, a lot of humanitarian work in like third world countries and things like that. Things like building schools when you're, making new allies with different countries. I've been to Honduras, Lithuania.
That Navy
I went to Iraq.
do
I served in the first Iraq.
What?
The Navy aren't a, they don't just go and build houses and stuff for third world.
I don't know. It's not particularly relevant.
This
Brenda says his eyebrows have achieved sentience.
Well, look at yeah, because look at his face. He's not there. His eyebrows are controlling this.
His eyebrows, they're controlling his whole body from the eyebrows.
That's not hair, it's roots.
Did a lot of convoy security and things like that for civilian construction workers and all those, different companies that were in Iraq at the time.
Okay. So CBs are kind of like the Army Corps of Engineers, the equivalent.
Army engineers in the Air Force, I think they call them like prime beef or something like that in the Air Force. But yeah, Army engineers in the Army. Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned, in 2003, you served in Iraq and you did all sorts of construction work there. So, what else happened during your deployment to Iraq?
I mean, like I said, it was mostly just convoy security. Right there, we're doing convoy security. Like the different trucks and things like that, where you see them all black on the sides and everything like that because they're getting hit by RPGs. A lot of things like that. Guarding those civilian contractors. I all over the place. Al Diwania, Al Jabbar, Al Nazariya, mostly the southern areas. I was in the very beginning of the war, so it was just us pushing through into Baghdad.
All right. So you served in the U.S. Navy for 7 years, and you shared. One of your documents there. This is that shows how long you served for. So we just have a redacted version of that, but there we have it. So it just shows.
So he does have a document here. Entered in 99, discharged in 2006. Right now we're going to the meat
From 1999 to 2006. So you get an honourable discharge. Now, at some point, you realise, or maybe you remembered all along, that just after boot camp, you were recruited into something. So you want to kind of walk us through what happened and how you were kind of recruited into the secret space program.
Well, I did 5 years in battalion, which is just, being deployable, going to Iraq and some countries and things like that. And then afterwards, I went to St. Maug in England. I re-enlisted for another 2 years at St. Maug. And it's in the Cornwall.
In England, St. Augans, what did he say?
I don't know. Can you run that back a sec?
Nah, he again, doesn't matter a ton.
And right south of Wales. And probably the first week I was there, one of the guys came in and said, "Hey, you have to escort some civilian workers into the underground base." And I thought it was strange because I only had a secret clearance and it was a top secret base. And so I went to the quarterdeck, which is kind of like the lobby of the base. And when you went to the quarterdeck, there was like a mag lift there. You saw the tracks most of the time. I think I only saw the actual mag lift twice. It was like a round tube, white, had like a porthole on it. It's like those trains that go all around the earth. There's caverns.
It's like those trains that go all around the earth.
Yeah, those trains. You see them all the time, right? Those ones that go all around the earth. Yeah.
Those trains. Yes, no big deal.
And just to be clear,
Tunnels that go all around the earth. They go very
this
fast. Once you get deep enough, it becomes a vacuum. They have like a fan system that pulls all the air out, so there's no wind resistance or anything like that against the train. And then next to that was a 10,000-ton blast door that was, I don't know, probably about 15 feet high by about 10 feet wide, 5 feet thick. And it had stencil on it, and military stencil, 10,000 tons. It needed a wheel at the bottom. Otherwise, it would have got ripped off the hinges to kind of, when the wheel rolled across like an embedded railroad track as it opened up. A yellow light went off, a siren. So I went to the underground base and, into the quarterdeck. And
okay, so explain to me this. Quarterdeck is to me a shipping term, not something you'd have on land. But it's apparently like you have like ship things on bases. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, when you're on land bases, you have ship terms for areas of it. So you would have the quarterdeck, which would be like a greeting lobby for the main base or something, and you'd have your sick bays, even though you're not at sea. That's just what they call them on bases, I guess. So yeah, that makes
okay.
But I mean, I'm not aware of any super secret military underground bases in Wales, and I did have secret clearance, being a nuclear engineer.
But you didn't have top secret clearance.
Oh, not secret. No, obviously not the top
you're missing.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
Yeah.
There were these 3 civilian workers in the corporation Siemens, and there was a sliding glass door that then you walk down the hall to an elevator. Then that was another way to get into the underground base, through an elevator. So when they walked through the sliding glass door, there was something that looked like a metal detector. And the first guy from Siemens said, "I'm not walking through that bloody thing." So I thought, well, I don't want to.
This gets good.
Walk through it either. And I tried to walk around, and there was a guard behind a table, stainless steel table, and he said, "No, you walk through."
Why
so I looked at it, I just thought it was a metal detector, so I walked through. I had to get.
Why walk through?
Yeah, why not
wouldn't
go
the other
through?
person walk through?
Yeah.
No answer provided.
Oh, I'm not going through that. Why?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Hey, before we move on here, this is Alex's dad here. Says who's a Kupar Arab for £5 says, "Thanks for the kind shout out to Alex, guys. When I said he'll be studying computer science, I do of course mean he'll be in training to be a NASA shill."
Well, yeah, we know that. We're not allowed to say what it really is. Like,
yes.
shit, we just said what it was, wouldn't we?
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, we're not going to get our bonus this year, are we?
I don't know. I'm hoping. Just Karen is the one still in charge of it, though. So
wait, you got the mug. You know that they give the mug to people as like, you're not getting a bonus this year. Here, have a mug.
Yeah, I got it last year. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Probably get
gave
another
me
mug this year.
They gave me your bonus last year for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Oh, just a jar. It's a mason jar. Was it free?
Yes, this was actually a pickle jar.
So it's a free mason jar. Nice.
Yes, I drink out of a free mason jar. You are right.
All right, let me read one more. Lord Illuminous Pooh says, "I want to start the National Dyslexic Association to promote dyslexia-related issues. Please join the DNA."
Yeah, that's exactly what DNA stands for.
All right. What do you think Before we go, it's chat. I have both my chat and your chat up, Craig, on my screen. Chat. What do you think this metal detector looking device is going to do and perform? What's your guess?
It's clearly going to turn him gay, right?
Nope.
You telling me they don't have alien technology that turns people gay?
I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you that this metal detector looking thing is not it. Let's see.
Right.
Teleport, probing.
No. I've seen this. I've watched Loki. It's to check if he's a robot or not.
Nope. Detect metal, anti-gravity, cause constipation, brown note, detect telekinesis,
soul checker,
probe, soul checker, time travel,
divining
rod,
Stargate.
Oh, dear. Nobody, not even close.
Oh, Industrial Nerd's got it. It's a scan for gay waves. There we go.
Nope. You said Gary waves.
I know. I don't know why I said Gary. Yeah, you don't want Gary waves. Fuck's sake.
That's so much worse than anything else. It's worse than the brown note.
It detects if you're a reptilian, fries his balls. He
None
will
of
become
these.
pregnant.
This ball swelling.
You guys have got a lot of things that you think it will do to his balls. I'm not sure why.
It's just a coat rack. It's a taco maker. Nope. It's not a sonic flare.
Measures their density level.
It's not a nipple chafer. We're not there yet. We're not to the real nut stuff here yet. It gets out there. All right, let's have him tell you what it is.
Somebody else with a higher clearance than me, I just sat down, watched them fix the pump, and that was the end of that day. And then on Saturday, I had a 0000 to 4 a.m. watch, like midnight before, on a Friday. And I saw Mike Latino there. So he was a colonel in the Army. He started the Temple of Set. He was pretty great. I knew him because I saw him on an episode of Oprah when I was a kid.
I don't know who this person is.
Nope, neither do I.
Okay.
And he has like the curled up eyebrows, like horns and everything like that. He was.
Oh, dude. That was a low-key dig on Michael Sala there with the eyebrow reference.
I know, right? Totally.
Good job.
Uncle Charlie's figured it out, though. It does,
what?
The metal detector thing, it displaces them etherically.
It does not.
Oh, damn it!
It does not.
Uncle
Speaking
Charlie,
of that, people can enjoy the etherically displaced adjacent emoji over in my live chat, but not in yours. Just saying.
What? Yeah, well, I've got a
on the quarterdeck table, standing up, looking at papers. I think it was my file or whatever that machine I walked through. I think he was looking at that. I think he wanted to see me in person. And I talked to him for a while, sat down, asked me where I was from, things like that. He kind of creeped me out, so I just left and did another round around the base. I was like doing rover watches, what they call it. And that was the end of that Friday. And then the next Friday, I had another 0000 to 4 a.m. watch, which isn't common really. Like only to get in trouble because Friday midnight to 4, nobody wants to do that. So I had another one, and there was the petty officer of the watch. He was a bit overweight, blonde guy, blonde mustache, and he was sitting behind the computer. And he pointed at the computer screen. He said, "What do you think about that?" And it would just look like a picture, like a black and white picture of like your stereotypical kind of gray. And
so your stereotypical kind of gray.
Yeah.
In the realm alien that these people live in, a gray is an alien.
Yeah, just your normal, boggly-eyed gray alien.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as was the Asgard in Stargate?
I don't know. But Wesley Grand Leonard says, can you ask him to button his top button? I don't know if it's you or Daryl. Maybe you, Craig.
No, I can't. Sorry.
Your neck muscles just tear it apart.
Yeah, I can. If I put it together, my chest, like pec muscles, just rip it open. I can't.
Yeah. Just don't flex. That's not just the fabric can't handle it. All right.
He said, "What do you think about that?" And I said, "Did you get it off the internet?" And he said, "No, look." And when he said, "Look," next to that sliding glass window, there was this very big window. That sliding glass door, there was a big window stopped about 6 inches from the ceiling, 6 inches from the floor, and it was like an office room behind it. And when he pointed, I looked at it, and it was just right there. And then he said, "Do you mind if it comes in here?" And I said, "Does it mind if I look at it?" And I heard in my head, no, I don't mind. But he said, no, I don't mind as well. And it was actually kind of light brown, had like a hue of pink about it. Big black eyes, small nose, like really no nose hardly, no ears. It had a fold of skin going from its tear ducts down to its cheekbones. And it walked out, and it had very long fingers. I remember right away. It kind of had to walk like with its hands in C shapes, or it would have drug its fingers on the ground. Long palms, long fingers, and it walked in almost very robotic. And it had something that looked like a silver pistol in its hand, like polished metal. And I just got back to my rack, and I started saying gun, and it was coming right at me, coming right towards me. And I stood up, and I pointed, and I said gun. And they all said it's not a gun, and they kind of put its hand out to show me what it was. And I noticed it was the same guy that was behind the stainless steel table when I first walked in the underground base. And he was behind it, and he had his rifle on his shoulder, and then he had it at the ready, which means he had it like in his hand. It wasn't pointed at me, but he had it in his hand. And so I sat back down, and I sat back down, and it was still walking towards me, and there was a small little Dell computer on the ground, and it was actually a drill. It wasn't a pistol. And I took apart this small little Dell computer very quickly, like a machine. You didn't have to guide the bit in or anything like that. It just hit the screws every time, and it was catching with the other hand.
So I missed this part the first time.
What?
Who's taking apart the Dell computer?
The alien, I think.
The alien. Okay.
So I think the
But
alien
it sounded
has
like he said
walked
doing
across.
it.
Yeah, so he thought the alien had a gun, but it was a drill. But the alien
yeah.
is now taking apart this Dell computer with this
It's
drill.
a Dell computer. Yes, this is.
Yeah, that's
this
really
is-
important.
This is all just a fancy masking for an advertisement for Dell. That's all it is.
JPP 3030 has been a member for Once Around the Sun. Says, "Damn, I paid for my mason jars. Did I get ripped off?" Yeah,
Yeah, they're free.
free mason jars.
Free mason jars.
Split the top off, popped out 2 gigs of RAM, put it on top of the table. It was short. I had to reach up, grab 2 more, put them in, split it back down. And it kind of had to flick its hand forward, and every time it was able to set a screw in between its fingers, like flicked it forward, and it was able to put it together almost quickly. And then it just stood there in front of me, and it looked this way. You know, I kind of turned around to look at it, and it moved its head for me, and I was able to see both sides of it. It moved its hands back and forth for me. And after a while, I just got kind of bored with it. It was just standing there, and I was looking at it, and it just turned around and walked back to the underground base.
Sorry, hold on. There's an alien taking apart a computer super fast in front of you, and you just got a bit bored with it.
Yeah, it's an alien, just, you know, because aliens do tech support, apparently.
This seems like they have captured an alien and are forcing it to fix their computers, right?
Yes. They're like, hello, Mr. Alien, I'm having trouble working on my computer. What should I do? Have you tried turning it off and back on again? Hey, that's a good idea. I'll give it a shot.
But they can only work on Dell computers. That's very important. It's got to be a Dell, or the aliens no clue what's going on.
Look, they've got standards. Right? Turns out Michael Dell is a reptilian. So you know.
Of course he is.
Watch said, do you think you can work around something like that? I said, I don't know why not. I think it was a test to see, like, gauge what I would do if I would run away or attack it or what. And he started saying things like, you know, you're smart. And I said, really? He goes, yeah. I said, how smart? I said, you know,
here we go.
140, 150 IQ. He said more like 190, 195. And then he started telling me things like, you smoke, because I smoked at the time. And if you don't have any clots, that's because you...
195.
Just a casual 190, 195 IQ, you know.
I got a 195 IQ.
Just the smartest person that's ever lived, you know.
Yeah, 195.
Because I drank at the time. And I said, how do you know all this? And he said, you see that scanner you walk through? And he's talking about that metal detector, but I thought it was a metal detector. They called it a scanner. And he says that, you know, it scans everything. It finds out your IQ, if you have any clots, it gives you like a complete physical every time you walk through. And these guys who worked in the underground base had to walk through it, you know, every day. And he asked me why I was a CB, and I said, well, I had a marijuana paraphernalia charge when I was 19, so all I could do was construction or be a cook. And he said, oh, don't worry, that's not going to affect you here. And he asked me if I had any hobbies. He said, with your scores, you'll be an officer. He said, you have plenty of time if you have a hobby. I said, I used to play classical guitar. And he said, oh, they're really like that. And I said, who's they? And he said, well, there's Germans up there.
They're Germans
and I said, up where? And he goes, in the moon and beyond. He really didn't call it space. He just said, up there. And I mean,
Sorry.
There's Germans up there.
Toon.
Oh, what?
There's Germans on the moon and beyond. Why Germans?
And beyond.
Why Germans?
There's Germans up there. What? Up there. You know, the moon
Just
and
up
beyond.
there.
Up there. This is not a guy claiming to just be telling stories. He's giving this as his "this really happened to me" story. Seriously.
Popper Russian, who's been a member for 1 month, says, "Let me guess, it just hissed, release me." Otto says he's got a ton more laundry to fold, so stretch it out. Don't worry, this crazy doesn't seem to be stopping.
Oh, it doesn't. All right, I got a couple here. We got Lord Illuminous Pooh says that guy got there through the vacuum tubes. How old is he? No bionic interferometric gyroscopic molecular arrangement device or Big Mad, our teleporter. Lord Illuminous Pooh said the aliens are the Intergalactic Geek Squad. Correct me if I'm wrong, says NANA for $6.66. Correct me if I'm wrong. People that constantly pause, look up and away during a conversation are lying. Heard this from an expert.
Possibly.
I don't know. Possibly I've heard those types of things. I don't know how true they are, but for some reason, I'm pressing X to doubt on this guy's stories.
Yeah, no, I definitely pressed X to doubt quite a long time ago.
Yeah. This is important. MK Ultra says everyone knows a real alien would be working on an Asus computer.
Oh, yeah, of course, because that's the Galactic Federation standard, right?
It is. Yeah, they have a contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only find Asus on the moon.
The Dell,
beyond.
somebody must have brought it from home. Right? Lord Illuminous Pooh says, isn't that supposed to be in History of the World Part 2? Friends of the Führer in Space? All right. We're not, he's just getting started.
Different things. I asked like what they were, and he said we don't know. He said all we know is they've been here as long as we have. You know, and there was some kind of war we got into where we had outside help, but we participated in the war, and I guess one of the deals or something like that. One of the part of the surrender when they lost was they had to go underground, and they've been infiltrating our religion and our government and our schools ever since. They've been trying to like infiltrate us in different ways.
Wait,
and
sorry,
he really didn't seem to know a lot. He was like a low.
Yeah.
The Greys.
Yes.
So we got in a war
Aliens.
with the Greys or with a different species?
Exopolitics is complicated, Craig.
Or is there multiple factions of the Greys that are fighting amongst themselves?
We should probably see if we can get Michael Sala to come on and set us straight on this.
Yeah, I need to understand which side are we on in the Galactic War. I think that's an important thing to know, don't you?
Yeah, very, very important.
I mean, I like the green aliens personally. I think I'm going to side with them.
Yeah, so some people have been saying that Dell owns Alienware computers. I don't know if that's... That's probably just a rumor to get people off of the track that it's all Asus.
Hey, do you think these aliens have got total Riz?
That's so much Riz.
Yeah, so much Riz. So I'm just trying to get the kids involved in the chat. Yeah, they're total like alphas, aren't they? You know, they're total Sigma aliens with Riz all the way.
Yeah. Now they have a lot of Riz, but they don't have as much Riz as the aetherically displaced humble person has.
No. Yeah. But it's funny that we're talking about him. I'm just laughing how he's like just forgotten about flat Earth all of a sudden, really, and is now just busy giving Trump fellatio in debates and being very bad at that.
Well, I had a little encounter with him last Thursday, and last night I was reviewing a debate, something prior to my encounter with him with Sea Lion Prime. That was pretty good. He was actually trying to back flat Earth, but of course, all that he was doing was talking about geocentric globe.
Yeah. Because that's all they can do.
Because geocentric globe totally proves flat Earth, according to
I know.
him.
I love it when they argue for a globe position. It's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, so all right.
I think in the program, he said he went to the moon very often. He pretty much stayed on Earth, though. I mean, that was like his 20 year and back. And he said,
His 20 year and back. Is 20 year and back a military term? Because he says it a lot.
20 year and back. No, it's not really a
maybe
term
an American. I don't know. Is it an American military term? I'm asking the American military people in the chat.
Hey Lucy, I'm live now and I'm streaming alongside MCToon, who is also extremely awesome. And we're listening to some guy prattle about aliens. And he keeps saying a term, 20 year and back. Is that like a military term? I've never heard it.
Years and back isn't a typical military term, at least not one I'm familiar with. It sounds more like one of those wild conspiracy theories, especially in the context of aliens. I think some of the weirder stories claim that people are taken for military service or secret missions involving aliens, and after 20 years they're sent back to their original age, like nothing happened. Basically, it's sci-fi nonsense. Does that sound like what the guy is going on about?
Possibly. He's talking about some kind of interstellar war with greys, and I'm not sure. I'm very confused. This is fun. So yeah, it's just nonsense that he's making up.
Yep. Well, all right. Well, 20 and back, she knew.
Yeah.
ChatGPT knew. Lucy knew. All right.
It's not ChatGPT. It's Lucy.
I knew the guy who won the PRT test every year. And it's a physical readiness test. The most push-ups, to run the fastest and everything. And he was a younger kid, around 18 or 19. And I said, yes, I know him. And he said, well, that's me. He said, I joined the program. And this guy was like 35. And he said, don't tell him. He said, that's why I have the mustache. It's like a sky. And so...
Wait, that's why I have the mustache? Because what?
Because he was with the aliens? What?
I don't know.
You need a mustache to go to space, apparently?
No, because he was talking about the physical fitness tests, that he's the guy that wins that all the time, and he's 35 and he beats all the 19-year-olds
because he's got a mustache that gives him superpowers.
The mustache is a disguise, says Brenda.
It'll make sense to me now.
Yes, just like when I take my glasses off. Dirk
Daniel
can't
R in the
identify
chat
me
says
anymore.
he doesn't want to brag, but his IQ is 271.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Don't brag. That sounds, Daniel, that sounds so humble.
The current war says that their IQ is fourth dimensional. You wouldn't understand.
It's fourth density.
Yeah. So what's the difference between dimensions and densities? Is that like the difference between Marvel timelines and universes?
I don't know. It's just something made up.
Monday, the executive officer came directly to the garage, which really doesn't happen. They usually will, come to you and they'll talk to you. I mean, you usually go to their office and they'll talk to you. But he came directly to the garage and asked for me, and I came out. First, we walked outside and we were just walking in small talk. How do you like England? Things like that. And he said, "How does it feel?" And I said, "What?" He's like,
How does it feel? All right, let's just get a little context here. This entire story is 100% made up and invented.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay? None of this happened.
No.
So now what he's about to say, put that in this context, that he invented this whole story, right? And now what he's about to say, put that in the context of he invented it.
He asked me what I thought about, the drone that I saw. That's what they call them, drones. Pretty interesting. And he said, how does it feel to have 195 IQ? And
in his invented story, he had another character ask him, what's it feel like to have 195 IQ?
Which he didn't know that he had. He was only told that when he went through the machine.
Yeah, well, now he knows. And now this other guy's like, well, what's it like to have 195 IQ? And he's like, in my made-up story, this character just asked me what it's like to have 195 IQ.
Toon, the guy's saying he's got 195 IQ, but he can't figure out, look behind him, that rugs go on the floor, not on the wall and the sofa. It's not hard. That you don't put those on the wall and the sofa. They go on the floor, my friend.
I don't know. It's pretty nice that he lives in his grandma's house. She lets him live there.
Frankly, I don't
front
think
room.
the people that live there know he's in that house.
Maybe not.
One of the guys
Borg
earlier
Emporius
told me
Turtle
that
says hi. Hi, Borg Emporius
whenever
Turtle.
I saw the computer screen, when the first class petty officer watch showed it to me, it was like color-coded lines that kind of went up and down a little bit. And so there was one right above me, and I was right below it, and there was a gap in the rest of the guys. So petty officer watch told me that I was the second smartest person on base. One of the guys came up to me and said, "You know who the smartest is?" They asked me what I thought about, the long spindly finger, big black eyes, kind of creepy looking, asked me what I thought about that. And I remembered as it was happening, I was pinching myself on the thigh when I was witnessing this thing. And the petty officer of the watch said, "Do you think you're dreaming?" And I said, "No, I want to have a mark on my body in case you erase my memory, so I'll remember this." And he said, "No, you'll remember this for now." And I woke up in the morning, I remember I had a blood blister on my thigh. I gave myself a mark. And then
All right, so he gave himself a blood blister on his thigh so that when he woke up, he would have a mark on his body to know he wasn't dreaming.
Or to know that he hasn't had his memory removed.
Yeah, in this absolutely 100% invented story, he did this. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean...
In this invented story, he invented a mechanism for him to identify that he wasn't having a hallucination in his invented story, that it was a real part of his invented story.
To make sure he hadn't had his memory removed and he knew what was...
Yep, it wasn't a dream, yeah.
this other person who worked in the underground base immediately, and, what did you think? He said, he said, "You know who the smartest person on base is?" And I said, "No." He said, "It's the XO." He said, "The executive officer is the smartest person. He has an over 200 IQ. And so I was, walking on the sidewalk on the base with him. And he said, "How does it feel to have a 195 IQ?" And I said, "Well, you would know, sir. I said, you're only person on the base smarter than me." And he said, "Oh, so you know, huh?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, who told you?" And I didn't want to say at first, but he kept on saying, "Who told you?" And I eventually told him. And I said, "But everybody knows. Everybody was coming up to me asking me, why are you a CB?" Things like that. And then he asked me why I was a CB. And I told him I had a marijuana paraphernalia charge when I was 19. That's all I could do was truck and be a cook. And he said, "Well, that won't affect you here." And he told me about, he said if I ever heard of Gary McKinnon. And this was like a current event at the time, and it was in Scotland.
All right. Gary McKinnon in Scotland in 2005, 2004. Anything?
Hey, Lucy, is there anyone called Gary McKinnon that is known from Scotland around 2003, 2004? She's searching.
I couldn't find any record of a Gary McKinnon from Scotland in the 2003-2004 timeframe. However, I did come across Gary McGuinness, a Scottish footballer from Dundee, who played throughout the 80s and 90s, mainly for clubs like Dundee United and St. Johnstone.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. So, no, there's no record of this Gary McKinnon.
Gary McKinnon?
Gary McKinnon?
Says rise above, maybe?
Try searching for Gary McKinnon.
Mark W. says Witsit now says his IQ is above 200. His ego won't allow anyone to beat him.
Yeah, I know.
It sounds like you're referring to Gary McKinnon, a Scottish hacker who became notorious in the early 2000s for hacking into U.S. military computers.
Ooh, there it is.
His motivation was to find evidence of UFOs, suppressed free energy technologies, and other extraterrestrial-related activities. He claimed to have found evidence of alien space.
So he's a fellow nutter.
He claimed to have found evidence of alien spacecraft in NASA's files, which sparks a lot of controversy. The US tried to extradite him for years, but due to his mental health, the UK government blocked the extradition.
Because he's nuts.
Yeah.
They're like, sorry, he's insane.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you bring him over across the pond. Oh my gosh. That's it. Lord of Luminous Pooh says, isn't that supposed to be in here? Oh, I already read that one. I already read that about the mustache men in space. Sea Lion Prime says, sup gals and fellas.
What about me?
Sea Lion Prime.
Species
Sea Lion, just a sec. Sea Lion Prime will be on Jaren's tomorrow debating ether with Shame Saint Plagiaire and Alan Space Audits.
Right. Shane Saint Plagiaire put an open
Shame. S-H-A-M.
Put a open debate challenge on X. Which I accepted. And he promptly went, "Oh shit! I forgot to say not you." And now he's said that he will debate me, but only one of the 6 topics, not all of them. So I've chosen to debate him on gravity versus electrostatics because he hasn't a clue what he's talking about.
Oh, no kidding.
No.
What? Well, I need to see this because I'll accept, and I'll take one of the other 6.
Yeah, well, just go to X. He hasn't closed the challenge yet, so just look at his recent tweets or X's, whatever they're called, and just say, "I also accept." FTFE's taken that. Someone else has taken up. One of the things was curve is optical, not physical. Someone's taken that one. Let me have a quick look. 'Cause I want to see what the other ones are. See which one you want.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'll read. Lord Illuminous Poo says multiverse? More like one poo, the horror. Nope, I'm doing a Highlander. I gotta go. Deadpool 2028 says all this just to explain a love bite to his wife. I don't know if wife is something that this guy has. No idea. Ooh, NA for $6.66 says, can you verify that FTFE is not AI?
No.
Craig, are you AI?
Yes.
That's confirmed. He is AI. There it is. All right. You were looking up. Did you find it?
I think he might have blocked me.
Really?
Oh, no. There he is. There he is.
Okay.
Maybe muted, because I certainly can't find him as easy as I could before.
You could be lucky, and he.
Oh! Has he possibly removed his open debate challenge because he forgot to say not people that can actually debate me?
Oh yeah.
Oh well, no. Here we go. Open debate challenge. Oh, and this is fantastic. Right, I want to quickly just share my screen because you do need to see this, if that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, hold on.
Because I think you're going to find this quite impressive. Yeah, you need to stop sharing yours just one sec.
Okay. Stopping. Okay.
There we go. Right.
You can share yours.
There we go. Share. Right. Are we seeing this? Let me just make sure my guys can see it as well.
Yep. I'll put it up here.
Right. So yeah, this is Shane's open debate challenge. Right.
Hold on. Just a second. I'm going to make it so everybody can see. Make it nice and big. All right. There you go.
Shane's open debate challenge. He's committed to following the scientific method rigorously. Lol. His approach emphasizes the importance of kinematic and dynamic equivalence. So not the scientific method then. Anyway, so then we go down to the things he aims to demonstrate. I aim to demonstrate that 1, map projections do not prove Earth's shape. Also 1, map projections are mathematical representations that can depict various shapes, but they do not inherently demonstrate the physical shape of Earth. Also 1, eclipse phenomena are consistent with geocentrism. So for some reason there's 3 ones, not entirely sure why, but there's 3 ones.
So when he says consistent with geocentrism, he means geocentric globe.
I guess so. That's number 1, but also number 3. I'm not sure. So number 2, but also number 4 is perceived curvature is actually just optical. So it's to do with the fact that your eyes are spherical or something.
Okay.
Surveying methods assume a flat plane with corrections, and no one can prove Earth's orbital motion with any terrestrial experiment. And he seems to have removed the one about
that's
gravity.
correct. That's what Einstein mentioned.
Yeah.
A terrestrial experiment, yep, you cannot do that.
Yeah, no,
that was his
definitely
point.
not with a terrestrial experiment.
You have to look outside the Earth in order to measure your own movement. Just like if you're inside a car, you need to look outside the car to identify your speed. And the speedometer knows your speed because it's got the wheels touching the ground, something outside the car.
So here is the topics that he wants. Cosmology and maps. Maps project coordinate systems, not a globe. I mean, I agree with that. Maps are not a globe. That's absolutely correct. Do you agree with that, Toon, that maps are not a globe?
Correct.
Yep, cool. So no worries, Shane, you're cool with that one. His next one is that eclipses are compatible with the geocentric model. So Earth's a globe, right?
The geocentric globe, yes.
Yep. The next one is Earth's curvature and optics. Curvature is optic-based, not physical. Basically, he says because your eyes are round and you have a certain field of view.
Oh, no, he says we see in hyperbolic space. This comes from Glean.
Yeah. Glean the not Flerf. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not true because all you have to do is slightly change your field of view and his maths doesn't work anymore. Geodesic surveying. Surveyors use planar measurements with ellipsoid corrections.
That's, proving the Earth is a globe.
Yeah, because if they don't use the corrections, then it doesn't work.
He's admitted that the Earth is a globe. Okay.
Yeah. So, for him. And then gravity, electrostatics versus mass attracting mass.
Wow.
Well, electrostatics and mass attract mass both exist. I don't know why they have to have a versus. But do you see anything flat Earth related there?
No. All of this is Earth is a globe.
Yeah. And
so he's gone the Witsit path of let's not even talk about flat Earth anymore. Let's use everything globe. Therefore Earth flat. Yeah,
but don't forget the 4/6 things he aims to demonstrate.
Yes.
Do you think this is because he can't count above 4, maybe? That he had to have 3 ones?
Well,
I'm not sure.
He was eating with one hand and counting with the other, so he couldn't get to 6.
Yeah, he kept licking the Cheeto dust off his fingers and starting again.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy. Basically, I've chosen gravity versus electrostatics. Someone else is doing Earth curvature versus optics. So which one would you like? I think you should probably do geodesic surveying.
Yeah, I could. Yep.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's already admitted the Earth is a globe there.
Well, yeah, of course he has. In every single one of these points, he's admitted the Earth's a globe and that electrostatics and mass attract mass both exist.
Yeah. Amazing.
But remember, this is an open debate challenge, so make sure you get in there.
I'll get in.
Right, back to the crazy.
All right.
Good job, Shane. Impressed with your counting. Well done.
All right.
You got my screen. Okay, stop. How do I quit it?
You want me to stop your share? I mean, I can do it.
There we go.
Oh, good. You didn't flurf it up.
No.
All right. Hey, did you maybe had a Flerf on the hook to debate today? Is that...
he hasn't got back to me. In fact,
okay.
I kind of we were talking about the Polaris space mission, and I sent him the video, right? And he kept screenshotting back to me a certain bit of the video.
Yeah.
Let me show you. So he kept then sending me.
I can't see.
He kept sending me that screenshot, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "The Earth looks like an egg. Ha 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 ha! You know, you're so dumb believing that's real."
Because part of it's missing. Does he not know that?
Yeah. So I said to him, "Well, what if I show you that same thing using a football?" And he said, "You can't do that." So I took a picture of my football doing the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then he hasn't responded to me anymore.
They can't do photography. They
don't like being proven wrong, do they?
Some of them do. They just say nah and move on.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready?
I was born ready.
He told me he hacked into NASA, the U.S. Army, and the U.S. Navy. And he found files called Project Solar Warden, where he found things like extraterrestrial officers with ranked social security numbers, pictures of cigar-shaped craft over the moon, and he said it's all true. And he said the only reason they didn't extradite him is because if they did, he would have been able to call witnesses if he went to court and would have blew the lid off Solar Warden.
They tried to extradite him, as you mentioned.
But
so this guy has a different version of reality.
Yeah, so they tried to extradite him, but basically the British government were like, this guy's no, he's literally not all there.
Oh, yeah.
But this guy's like, oh, no, he's super,
It was
super
during the
smart.
Iraq War, so it was pretty easy to cover up. And he said, we have a program called the 20-year and back. He said, we put you in the program, you do 20 years, we send you back in time 20 years, age regress you 20 years, wipe your memory, and you wake up in bed like nothing happened. And I said to him, I can believe in wiping one's memory, and I can believe in going back in time, but there was something about age regression I found hard to believe.
Wait.
And he said, after what you just saw, you find...
This is the plot to Flight of the Navigator, right?
I don't know.
Toon,
it's
so, excuse me, have you not seen Flight of the Navigator?
I have.
Right, okay.
But if it wasn't the 80s version of Battlestar Galactica, I don't know. That's all I know anymore.
That's all you know.
And Buck Rogers. Rogers.
But you do know the 2000 reboot of Battlestar Galactica was better, right?
That doesn't exist. The thing I'm confused about is was Starbuck a dude and now Starbuck's a not dude?
Well, the thing is it's all cycles. Everything happens again and again and again. That's the whole point of Battlestar. So Starbuck is just something that happens. And this Starbuck was a woman. But yeah.
All right. That was a riddle. You didn't have to answer in a riddle?
I didn't. Battlestar Galactica is very confusing because there's some kind of crazy god shit going on as well as cyborgs.
So when I was in school, we would race out during recess to the swing set, and whoever got on the red swing got to be Starbuck. We always wanted to get to the first, the red swing, yeah.
God, your friends were nerds.
We'd swing, and we'd fly around space on, right? But we knew. Here's the difference from us to this guy here. We knew we were just pretending. This guy says it really happened.
So what you're saying is, on the 20th of this month, when I start my collaboration with Dapper Dino, playing Lieutenant Commander Terran Shelby, the half-Tellarite, half-human, cybernetically enhanced chief engineer of the Starship Lexington, that's not real.
That is not real. Yep.
Right, so it's just a character I'm playing.
Yep. Oh, Clive Wells says, I heard Starbucks changed into a chain of coffee shops.
Believe, and I said, well, touche, sir, but yeah. He said, well, it's true. Like, he wasn't convinced. He wasn't going to bother trying to convince me any further. And he said, with your scores, I guarantee you'll make commander and pilot of a 4-kilometer-long starship. And he told me they look similar to the ships in Battlestar Galactica. And I thought about it.
God, Battlestar Galactica, man. I was just talking about it.
As I was talking with him, and I said
that he was offered the job of driving a 4-kilometer-long starship, and he thought about it.
By the 195 IQ, I couldn't be bothered.
No,
Instead of that, I want to do the rest of this story, which isn't nearly as cool.
I'm not going to waste my talents driving a starship.
Nah.
Going to an underground base, I could tell if I had clot in my body or anything. And he said yes. And I said, well, my dad died of a widowmaker, a heart attack when I was 19. And he had a clot in his heart that we didn't know about, and it just broke off and he died. And I said, if we would have had technology.
So this guy right here, who when he was 16 looked into the future, saw that his potential future wife Jenny would turn out bad because he would get shot
by a
And that
mafia
would
guy that was his dad.
Then, wait, just to be for he would have three kids with Jenny, and then in a warehouse after having these three kids, his dad would die of a heart attack. Then, remember, in real life, his dad died of a heart attack when he was 19. But in his vision of the future, his dad had a heart attack after he had three kids. And the way he said it, it sounded like the vision of the future is his dad had a heart attack because he got shot.
Yeah.
But his dad didn't last that long. In real life, his dad had a heart attack at 19, when he was 19.
Yeah, I think maybe he was seeing possible timelines, like kind of a Doctor Strange thing. He just had to find the right one where Iron Man saved the universe or something. Wait, no, that's Marvel. Sorry, I'm getting confused now. He's not, right, just to be clear, he's not looking for all the Infinity Stones, is he?
I don't know. But Bob's, is this jerk didn't bother to warn us about 9/11? Doofus. Exactly.
I know, man. Look, like, talking about time travel, right? I know for a fact that anything I've ever done has never really been that bad. And the way that I know this as a fact is that no one from the future has ever come back and told me to not do it.
Yes.
So, unless that happens... In fact, you know what? If one of us invents time travel, can we just agree right now that at this time, on this
right
day...
Now?
Yeah, right now, we will come back to both of our streams and say hello.
Okay.
All right.
When we say mark, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
3,
2, 1.
Mark. Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Dang it. And I totally watched Bill and Ted, and it would have happened. Wow. All right.
Oh, well, at least I know that I'm not going to ruin the universe. It's all good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
3 Ron says he psychically knew you would talk about Battlestar Galactica while reviewing his video.
Oh, yeah, because he could see the future.
Yes.
Yeah, in a minute, he's going to look straight at the screen and go, and when MCToon reviews this...
Yeah. well, even more than that, if he can see into the future, why didn't he see into the future of the things he's about to be talking about? Just a little? I don't know. I would, if I could see into the future, I'd totally do like that movie Next.
Look, let's be honest. If you could see into the future, you'd get the lottery tickets. Why is this guy not super rich?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I'm just getting more and more frustrated by...
It doesn't happen.
He can't figure out that rugs go on the floor, not half sofa, half wall.
Why is it half on the sofa? Like, you're gonna use it.
Hold on, he's fucking hiding the Stargate, isn't he?
Oh, dang it! It's right behind there.
Yeah.
And that tree that's on the blanket.
Yeah.
Tapestry.
Yeah,
that's Yggdrasil.
Yeah, that's connecting the 9 realms.
Yes.
Oh, it's all coming together.
We got onto it. We totally uncovered it. Anyway, yeah, I would, given the choice of a 4-kilometer long starship and the thing he's about to do, if you can see into the future, yeah. Yeah, you definitely.
My chat are now seeing the future. Rum Bubba says, Craig, don't get fish and chips tomorrow. You will get sick. Oh, that's good. I've already bought dinner for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be having a steak salad. So, yeah, awesome.
By steak salad, you mean a whole bunch of different steaks with...
Yeah, just 10 different steaks.
That's it. Yep, steak salad.
No,
my favorite kind of salad, Jell-O salad.
Yeah, right. I need to have a word with you Americans. What are you doing?
It's healthy because it's healthy because it's salad.
It's like, I've seen macaroni salad, but you guys just like turn macaroni cheese into layers with bacon and call it a salad. No, that's not how salads work. When I say I'm having a steak salad, I'm having like an 8-ounce ribeye steak with a whole bunch of actual salad.
Yeah, but here's a problem. When you say we're going to have pudding, you have some non-sweet things that are parts of the animal that nobody wants to eat.
Black pudding is amazing.
But it's not pudding.
Well, it's black pudding.
There's nothing pudding
Hey,
about it.
Wait until you find out about white pudding.
No. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not interested
Right.
in that.
Right. A proper breakfast is 4 rashers of bacon, 2 link sausages, 2 Lorne sausages, 2 black pudding, 1 white pudding, 2 hash browns, 1 piece of toast, and 1 tatty scone with some beans, mushrooms, and tomatoes.
Of course, there's beans.
It's got to have beans. It's not breakfast without beans.
What did you say? Tatty scones?
Tatty scones,
What's that?
What's
that?
It's potato and onion minced together, flattened out and fried.
Oh, so it's not actually a scone.
Well, it's a tatty scone.
Okay. So when you said scone, it's scone, right? I'm like, well, it's made from flour, but nope, no flour.
Well, it's kind of potato and flour, and then it's fried in as much grease as you can possibly have, because Scottish people like to have breakfasts.
Yes, and beans.
It's not breakfast without beans, okay?
It's seriously beans. I used to do. I don't know. Maybe this is a thing over there. Scrambled eggs and Boston baked beans. Is that something that?
Yeah. So one of my favorite lunches is just some toast with some baked beans, some scrambled egg, and some cheese on top. Amazing.
All right, I'm in. Has anybody from America ever had Boston baked beans and scrambled eggs?
I'm getting hungry now. Can you stop this? I'm on a diet, okay?
I'm hungry too. I got a no from Brenda, who grew up in the same vicinity as I did here.
Oh, we've got Otto in the chat needs to be educated. How the fuck does scone come out as scone? The correct pronunciation is actually scone. It was made in Scotland.
Why is the E there?
Well, gone. Gone.
Yeah, why is that there? Why is the E there?
I don't know. The English language is strange, but a great
I'm blaming you.
A great advertising campaign for scones is just a picture of an empty thing with some crumbs, and it just says it's scone.
Ah, I see what you did there. Yeah. All right.
Back to the crazy.
All right, here we go. Speaking of crazy.
It was to save his life. I said, why isn't this technology, available to the public? And he went on about population control and everything else like that. And I said, well, there has to be a side that wants to release it to the public. And he said, well, there is. And I said, well, if you can get me on that side, I'll do it. And shook his hand, saluted him, and he said, one more thing, Mr. James. And he was calling me Mr. this whole time as well, which only officers call each other Mr. in the Navy. He said, one more thing, Mr. James. You're going to be escorted by a reptile, and he's big. And I really didn't know what he was talking about. Like, I had no idea about any of these things.
Yeah, it's a non-event.
Now, are the reptiles also aliens?
Is what?
Are the reptiles also aliens?
Oh yeah.
Right. So there's greys and there's reptiles.
Bad ones.
Wait, are the reptiles bad or are the greys bad?
Mostly yes, on both.
Right.
But then you've got the Pleiadians.
The Pleiadians, right.
Which are the Nordic-y ones, I think.
Oh, this is the Borg.
And then
the Space Borg, right.
But they don't look like Borg, though. They look like ABBA in their prime.
Yeah, okay, I mean, Borg, that works for me.
Okay. And then there's another one, I don't know. I forgot who. So this is the interesting thing. This guy 100% invented this whole story. This is all pure BS, right?
Yeah.
But the fan fiction universe that he is writing this in has already been defined.
Oh yeah.
So he needs to make his completely made up story fit within the existing fan fiction universe that other people have previously identified. So if you're familiar with my videos on that guy that we're supposed to forget that I'm forgetting about. What's the name of that guy that we're forgetting? Well, totally forgot the name of that guy. Anyway, that guy also speaks in this, writes fan fiction in this same universe. There's a whole bunch of people. So Michael Salla is kind of like, he's like the kingpin of this particular fan fiction universe. And then he's always interviewing people about the goings on in the actual politics of this fan fiction universe. So there's like Elena Dannon, who is in mental contact with one of the Pleiadians, the Nordics.
Let's just call them Borg. Okay, it's more simple.
All right. Anyway, so this is what's interesting. People can come into this fan fiction universe. All you need to do is make sure that everything that you say just runs alongside.
Yeah, you got to know the existing lore.
Yeah, the existing lore. You have to just fit with the lore, and then of course you can bring in new lore. And of course that's what he's doing here.
Yeah, but if you bring in new lore, does that mean everyone else has to accept this lore?
Yes, it's now canon.
Yeah, no, right. So this isn't like, Star Wars Legends, which is kind of technically outside of canon. Everything he says is now canon within this fan fiction universe that has already been created with...
Yeah, and I think, I kind of get the idea that there's Michael Salla that's doing this interview here. He's the one that is the gatekeeper of acceptable lore and unacceptable lore. So if you get on his show, whatever you say is now canon.
Ah, right, I see. So
right.
This is like so he's like the Kevin Feige of this universe.
The Kevin Woody?
The Kevin Feige. The guy in charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The guy that originally worked on the first Mutant movies, got his start there, and then became in charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who in the She-Hulk series was portrayed as a robot with a baseball cap.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought you were a nerd.
Bob Kane.
Okay, there we go.
Bob Kane.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, so that was a Monday, and then I was in the barracks with the guys playing Halo, the video game Halo on Xbox.
Yeah, of course he was.
And one of they knew I joined the program, and they just started talking about different things. And one of them said, "Hey, did you see that reptile today? We're waiting for another game." And another guy said, "Yeah, he was big." And another one said, "Yeah, he talked funny too." And I said, "What?" I said, "There's reptiles on the ground that talk to you?"
Or reptilian. I just wanted to back up.
Okay, so I jumped over a bunch of stuff here because he kind of got off on some things that you don't want to cover.
Right.
And then he kept going. So
I just
things
like,
that's so this Michael. Hold on, just a second. Michael Salla knows what YouTube will take and what it won't take, and so the video that he posted on YouTube ends at a certain point, and only Rumble has the full interview. And I got the Rumble version. That's the one that I edited to remove the stuff that might be a little out there. Go ahead.
Is Michael Salla actually outside? I thought it was a green screen originally, but I'm beginning to think that he's actually broadcasting from outside somewhere.
I think he's outside. I think he is in Hawaii.
I think maybe he's not allowed inside.
It might be. He might not be house trained.
No, it makes sense. The eyebrows definitely aren't house trained.
They're not. Yeah, they'll just. Yeah, and there's some things to do with bigger on the inside type technology. When
They've
it
got
comes
TARDIS
to them
now?
defecating, so when they defecate, it's not small, it's big.
Wait, what?
Yeah. See, Mark W says, "Can you ask Craig to put a white shirt on and slick your hair back? I swear you're the same person as this Daryl."
No. No. My face is noticeably thinner, and I'm not that grey.
Yeah, he's got a collection there, a little bit of salt and pepper going. Let me see here. NA says, ask FTFE about Spotted Dick. Like, look, let's be
It-
sensitive
that's
to
no, that,
any
that's
diseases
it's a
that he
dessert.
may
That's
or
a
may
dessert.
not.
It's nice.
What?
It's a dessert. It's lovely.
You do what you want on your own time, right?
The
That is
Flerf I
such
was
a
gonna
strange-
talk to later
strange
has
thing.
now ran away.
The Flerf?
Yeah. Of course they ran away.
Of course. I got 3 runs to shut your mouth, Craig. Star Wars Legends is true canon.
Not according to Disney.
No? All right.
Plus, let's
all
face it, Star Wars is shit.
It's gone. Yeah, it's trouble. You got any super chats you need to cover?
Yes, I do. Tim Davidson says for $5, wait, if we put all the horny people in horny jail, won't they just... I'll get them up. And then for another $10 says, The Flight of the Navigator. A small child gets abducted by an alien craft voiced by Pee Wee Herman, and due to near light speed travel, ends up in the future 80s due to time dilation. Can I get back? Yeah, you're not allowed to write movie synopsis anymore, okay? And then another $10 from Tim Davidson. If you went back in time to stop the Kennedy assassinations, that means when Kennedy was killed, you were there trying to stop it, but he got killed. Even though you haven't left yet, you already failed. Yeah, time travel's confusing. If I went back in time and killed myself before I went back in time, then I couldn't have gone back in time to kill myself. So I couldn't have gone back in time to kill myself when I went back in... Temple mechanics hurts my brain.
So somebody here thinks that you look like a female Rebecca Watson.
Tell them that their mum likes me. Tim Davison for another $5 says, I call it the law of temporal inertia. Anything that has happened has a tendency to have happened. But I'm not going to argue with that. And then Tim Davison for $5 says, Toon doesn't know who Kevin Feige is. That's it. Pull his nerd card. Yeah, I'm going to need you to send that in, actually. If you could just post it to me, thank you.
Bob Kane. Bob Kane. Who's Bob Kane, Craig?
Bob Kane! He's Bob Kane.
Who's Bob Kane? Who's Bob Kane?
I don't know.
He wrote Batman. He invented Batman.
Yeah, like I said, he invented Batman. I'm Batman.
Do you know the which Star Trek movies were good?
Star Trek 4.
The answer is the even-numbered ones.
Star Trek 2. The Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan. Yep.
Yeah. The
Star Trek 3. The Search for Plot.
Yeah, that was rubbish. Star Trek 4. Yep. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah. All right.
Said about the grey, you called it a drone. So are we talking about a real extraterrestrial, or are we talking about a programmed life form? And the second question I have from what you've just said is the guy that was interviewing, or that was kind of like talking to you when you went into, he was at the desk and he talked to you about the grey. You said something about him having his younger version out there, and I just wanted to kind of like understand how that could have happened at that same time around 2004, how his younger version could be right there while he's there, at the same time. That kind of was a bit puzzling.
Yeah, please clarify your completely made up story.
Well, the drone was, they called them drones,
second.
and I was told that they were like
who's their younger version of?
Kind of shared a consciousness.
I don't know. It's some guy he's talking to is a younger version of himself. Or
did I miss them mentioning this?
You did, because I skipped a chunk of it.
Right. Okay. But
Yeah,
there is
safety.
also now multiple versions of the same people from different points in time.
Yeah. Best if you don't try to really make sense of it.
program them with a smart glass pad, like a small computer. And you can pretty much teach them anything from anatomy, taking things apart, to like machinery, computers, things like that, and then they can immediately learn something. And yeah, they're almost like an organic machine, pretty much. And that's why he was able to hit the screws every time with like pinpoint accuracy with the bit. Didn't have to guide it in or anything. And the petty ops of the watch, he was saying that, I guess he, they time travel a lot. So he was, came back in time and was working at the same base where his younger self was just working in the underground base as well. And I remember he scolded this younger version of himself sometimes, like working at the quarterdeck and just, seeing them interact with each other. Like, almost like a father to his son. I remember that.
He's bitching out his young self.
But, no, hold on. His older self then would have already had that happen to him, so he knew that he had to then do it.
Yeah, he had to.
But why does he come back in time? Why could his younger self not go forward in time and then work with his older self there? So there's space travel, multiple species, fifth densities, and time travel. And this, I want to point out, everyone watching on both channels, they both have completely straight faces. Like, this is just a normal conversation. Like, look at Toon and I right now. Toon, hello, how are you?
I'm good, hello.
How has your day been?
It's been super.
Now, I want you to notice how we just had normal expressions on our faces. We weren't excited or anything. It was a normal conversation. These two people are acting the way that Toon and I just acted. Like it's a normal conversation.
Yep. Some guy went and scolded his younger self because he's a time traveler. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sounds legit.
I mean, to be fair, I probably would slap my younger self a few times.
Yep. I would say don't buy silver with Bitcoin.
Don't buy silver with Bitcoin.
Yep.
Wait, you changed your Bitcoin to silver?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I mean, I would just go back in time and I'd be like, buy fucking Bitcoin.
Yep. I mined it myself in 2011, 2012.
Yeah, I tried mining Bitcoin, but I bought so many hard drives, and every time I smashed them up and looked inside, I couldn't find any Bitcoins.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not in every single one. It's kind of like a lottery thing, I guess. But, I'm really good at mining the Bitcoins. I've got quite efficient at smashing up the graphics cards and looking inside, but I still haven't found a Bitcoin yet. So,
yeah. That's totally how it works. How it works.
Yeah.
Did you see, speaking of Bitcoin, let's see, hold on a second. I'm going to get at
you got big.
It's too much you.
What? That's too much you right now.
Too much. Yeah. I mean, I've got the same problem over here. I got to pick the right, there it is. Got to pick the right thing to get you up on screen.
You can't be Batman because Batman wouldn't wear a shirt that says Batman.
Yeah, but Mark Sargent would wear a shirt that says Mark Sargent.
No, Mark Sargent needs to wear a shirt that says I am Mark Sargent because he forgets his name and has to be reminded. He goes, what does my shirt say? It says you're Mark Sargent. Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm Mark Sargent. Hey everybody, I'm Mark Sargent. Okay, did you see Will Duffy's video earlier today? Somebody has offered an open invitation to Flatties. One Flatty gets a free trip to Antarctica.
Oh, what? Someone else is funding something?
Yes. So one Flatty can go. It doesn't have to be somebody on the list.
Oh, who's going to take it?
Well, McFlatty already offered his...
you know what? The Earth's flat. Can I go to Antarctica, please?
No, the rule is you have to have been a flat earther for at least 2 years.
Oh, fuck. Wait, time travel's a thing. Give me a sec.
We just need to get a hold of this Daryl guy
and
hook us up with the time travel. All right. I'm kidding.
Hey, so, it's a bit of a sidetrack. I found out an interesting thing earlier. I was listening to the songs that we make on AI, and I found out that some guy is getting 40 years in prison, right? Because what he's been doing since 2018 is creating and uploading thousands and thousands of AI songs to Spotify, and then creating thousands and thousands of bots to stream his AI songs. And since 2018 has made $1.6 million a year, and is now getting 40 years in prison for wire fraud and money laundering.
Wow.
I'd be like, if I was a judge, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it, you beat the system, dude. Good job. Just don't do it again.
So the things that he did might violate the terms of Spotify or things like that. But
yeah,
what did he do that's wire fraud?
I'm not sure. That's the thing. But he's got two separate charges. One is wire fraud, and the other is money laundering, and each of them carry an up to a 20-year prison sentence.
Wow.
I feel like it's just a case of the music business trying to throw everything they can at him to make sure no one else does this. Because you know what? Yeah. That's absolutely genius.
Yeah, to have a bunch of bots play his music
constantly, so he just
on Spotify.
So he just collects the royalties from the bots listening to the music that he has created with bots and uploaded.
Yeah, and I can see how Spotify could identify that, right? You can see the IP address that's playing it.
Yeah,
and it's difficult to get enough IP addresses to jump around.
I think they only found out because of the amount that he was doing it. I reckon there's probably loads of people that do this on maybe a smaller scale. What if you could just have, making 50, 60 grand a year as passive income? Spotify probably wouldn't pick up that little amount. Maybe now they would because this big thing has happened. He's probably ruined it for everyone else by being a bit greedy. But to me, I just feel like he's beat the system, Yeah,
he must have. It must be something more than that. So somebody's asking, Mark W says, when's the cutoff date for accepting TFE? So I think in the video today, Will said that Austin has until either tomorrow or Friday to say yes or no. And the free trip that is being offered to any flat earther. So this isn't Will paying for it. This is some anonymous person paying for it. And that person this is Sunday night is the cutoff for that.
Yeah. Jeff C says Spotify is just mad. They didn't think of it. Tim Davison's like I've said for the last 2 years, man, the earth sure is flat.
Here's the thing. McFlatty's got his earliest videos from 2019.
Yeah, I think that other real flat earther, Flat Out, should go.
Flat Out's been around long enough, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we know real flat earthers, the not real flat earthers like Oakley, and that probably shouldn't go. In fact, you know what? I've been all for Oakley being the one to go to Antarctica. But can we just leave him there? Oh no, there's rules against littering in Antarctica, isn't there?
Yeah, you can't leave garbage, toxic filth behind. So
fuck.
Anyway, so I just posted the link there to McFlatty's. It's right here on my live stream, right there. This one to McFlatty's submission. It's quite horrible.
Everyone in my chat's now a flat earther, and they have been for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Black's explaining it to me. I need a Bitcoin extractor. They can sell one to me.
Oh,
brilliant!
For a low price, I'm sure.
Yeah, of 100 Bitcoin. Did you know?
Okay, Lord Illuminous Pooh says, "Here's a horrible thought. There's a Pooh 2.0 out there. I have procreated."
I don't know how to take that. Zoomy Tomato for $2 says Nemesis was number 10, so Toon is incorrect.
Oh, because Nemesis was no good.
Yeah, Star Trek Nemesis was fucking awful. You're right.
So that pattern stops with TNG.
Yeah.
Right. Once TNG shows up, that pattern stops. So only test up to there. Steve 660 says if you want a temporal paradox fluster chuck, open Netflix and find 3 seasons of Dark. Fluster chuck.
Tim Davidson for $5 says, I read an article where cops raided an illegal grow house, but the heat signature they were picking up was from a Bitcoin farm. Yeah.
Oh.
So do you know the story of the first pizza ever bought with Bitcoin?
Yes. Was it 10,000 Bitcoin?
10,000 Bitcoin, yeah. If people don't know about it, so quite close to when Bitcoin was first created and mined and stuff, and it really wasn't worth very much. Some guy was on some forums and he's like, look, I've got 10,000 Bitcoin and I want a pizza. So another person was like, okay, send me that 10,000 Bitcoin, and then they phoned Domino's and sent him a pizza. So what would 10,000 Bitcoin be worth now, Toon?
Let me just get this out here. 10,000. And then what's the current price of Bitcoin? It's been around 60,000 per. 60,000 times. There's a lot of zeros there. Hold on. $600 million.
Oh, he paid $600 million for a pizza, Toon. Oh, my lord.
Yes.
I mean, even if you went back in time and just bought 1 Bitcoin, you'd have $60,000 today.
They were pennies. Yeah.
Literal pennies. How much for a pizza? $600,000 for a pizza.
600 million. 600 million.
Sorry, $600 million. That better have been a good fucking pizza.
Yeah.
That better have been the best pizza of his life.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, Zoomy Tomato agrees. That best have been the best pizza ever made. Mr. Toffee says, did it have pineapple on it? Could you imagine? 600 million for a pizza and it comes with pineapple.
That sounds good. Worth it.
Get out.
Worth it. All right. Have people seen? Do people want to see McFlatty's video?
Of course they do.
All right.
And then we can get on with the crazy.
Yes. All right. Let me get it up here. Oh, that's the wrong one, I think. Yep. All right. The wrong screen. Let me get the right screen up. The correct screen. There it is. Have you seen the CC video for recently? The recent CC video?
I watched one earlier where he's got his leg up in a cast.
Yeah.
Talking about cold moonlight.
About cold moonlight. Yep. Yeah. If you watch that one, this will be especially fun. All right. Let me get.
I mean, I know moonlight's cold. It makes sense because it's colder at night, right?
Yes, it's colder at night. All right. So here we have the video called "The Final Experimentalization Application."
Now, I've had some conspiracy theorists in my chat saying that you are McFlatty. I mean, it's ridiculous. You guys look nothing alike. He's wearing sunglasses.
He is so much uglier than I am.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, but anyway, he wears sunglasses and you don't. So you're clearly not the same person.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go.
I'm not getting that audio.
Oh, hi, YouTube. McFlatty here. It's come to my attention that Will Duffy wants me to go to Antarctica. And of course, I'm willing and ready to do that, being the flat earther that's been the flat earth the longest. One of the rules are that you need to be a flat earther for at least 2 years, and of course, I have been a flat earther for much longer than that.
Oh, McFlatty.
I'm good. Hold on. Okay, I'm fine. McFlatty's good. I've been a flat earther for much longer than 2 years. Do you know I'm a time traveler? Turns out I told Samuel Rowe Botham because the Britannicas, they say Row, not Row. So anyway, Row Botham said, I taught him everything he knows, that moonlight is cold, and I can prove it because I have a magnifying glass. So I will be the one to volunteer to go to Antarctica with Will Duffy. I do.
Hey, he's not allowed
to bring my
soda.
energy drink.
No, he's not allowed caffeine.
I keep telling his mom, you've got to put it in the high cupboard, but he keeps getting up on. What he does, he pulls out the drawers, and the bottom one is pulled out all the way, and the second one is pulled out part way, and the top one is pulled out only a little bit, and he just climbs up like stairs.
I know, but when he has the caffeine, like the next day when his mum has to clean the toilet, it's not just that it's bad for his brain. It's not good for his stomach.
Yeah, it's so much bad. All right.
I need to send a picture of myself. There it is, the picture of myself. Okay. So Sifu Smo's energy drink. So you need some Mountain Dew, not Mountain, Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah, just gut destroyer.
That's good.
Wait, what was in the jar?
That was instant coffee.
It does that. Anyway, so I'm the one to go to Antarctica. I asked my mom already. Totally did. She's good.
No, I checked with his mum.
So reasons why I should be the one that goes to Antarctica. I taught Roe Botham everything. I've been a flat earther for so long. You can look at my channel. My videos they go back. This many years. So that's more than this many years.
That is
so
more. He's right. He's not wrong there.
The 9.P1 billion right here.
It's upgraded it.
On the plane to Antarctica, and then after the sun sets, because when the sun sets, I'll use my magnifying glass to show the cold moonlight. But then after the sun sets, I'll also zoom it back in because the P1 billion can do that. It's that good. Got all the optics that I made. So that's why I should be voted for. You should vote for me for president of Antarctica to go. Okay, McFlatty out.
No, I want Oakley to go. I don't care. One toxic sludge, it can be dealt with.
Oakley's already refused.
In fact,
he's already refused.
Not Antarctica. Can we crowdfund and just send Oakley to space?
There is no prohibition on leaving garbage up there. So,
in fact, if we just aim him towards the sun.
Yeah.
And please keep a camera on board.
Yep. That'd be great. I'd love it. That'd be fun. I mean, for science. It's for science.
Yeah, but he'd still be like, space isn't real. What do my balls taste like? I don't know, mate. They're burning up in the sun.
It's measured flat. Look, it's measured flat. But, they like to say it's measured flat, but when you ask for these measurements, you never get any.
I know. It's amazing. The other day, I used the theodolite app in my phone to measure the angular separation between two spheres.
Not possible.
But I did it.
No, but it's not possible because Oakley said it's not possible.
Yeah, but I did it. I measured angles between two curved surfaces.
No, you can't.
But
it's not possible. Oakley knows so much more about.
Oh, that's right. Oakley debunked the concept of a tangent, didn't he? That's right, of course. I forgot that tangents don't exist anymore.
Yep, they stopped. In fact, once you try to use a tangent, it makes whatever you're trying to use a tangent to become flat.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. That's how it works. Tim Davison for $2 says, my calculator says 10,000 in Bitcoin adds up to error.
Yep. All right. Do we want a little more of this nuttery, or do we want to save it for another night?
No. We've still got some time. Flerfs run away.
All right.
So,
as far as like anything happening, distorting time or anything, if you meet your younger self or meet yourself in the same space or whatever, there's no kind of repercussion for that, as far as I know. Because it was just basically an older version of this younger kid that always got first place on the PRT test and things like that. But it was just an older version of him, like 35, because going back and forth in time as they do in programs a lot.
Okay. Well, yeah, and if you can just resume about the... actually, at some point you signed a bunch of documents. So was that before you met the reptilian or after?
That was right before. Yeah, I met the reptilian. That was right.
Yeah, you got to sign here. You're going to meet a reptile.
Going to the moon and signing a bunch of documents, and what you remember about the documents.
Well, I mean, about the documents, I remember. I came in. It was Friday, and I came in and I started signing. It was a stack of papers. Like you were signing a mortgage. And it had X's on it already for me. And, that same first-class petty officer with the mustache was flipping the papers for me, signed here, initial here, things like that.
Yeah, you're so smart.
And I got kind of cold feet. Done for you. And I was reading it. I was trying to read it at first. And he said, if you read all of this, we'll be here all night. And it was saying things like, I don't know, like consciousness of the first party now belongs to the second party and things like that. Things I really didn't understand. And it was talking about consciousness. And when I stopped, and I said, hold on, if I should do this. He said, you're already...
So he signed a contract that said his consciousness belongs to someone else.
Yeah, first party and second party. Yeah, the consciousness. Yep.
I mean, I admit I don't always read terms and conditions, but I'm starting to think I should. I mean, all these things that you just click. For all I know, Sony own my eternal soul.
You probably have. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. They say my firstborn child will be sacrificed at the altar of Sony because I've clicked that agreement several times.
Mark W. says that's definitely a Kent Hovind shirt he borrowed for added honesty.
Again, look how serious they both look about this.
They're like, we are sharing the newest part of the exopolitics knowledge, everybody. This is just normal, everyday stuff.
You do not need to be excited. This is just a conversation that happens every day about time travel, greys, Borgs, time travel, older selves shouting at younger selves, telepathically communicating with your parents when you're 3 and in the 5th density. It's just a normal conversation, guys.
Yeah.
To sign the papers. So he was saying I was already back in time. Like I had already been sent back in time and I was being age regressed in the underground base. I already come back. So I was in a time loop. That's pretty much is what he was saying. So I signed the papers. I sat down.
So he'd already been in it?
And he said, all right, send him in. He got on the phone. He said, send him in. And then, I don't know, a couple minutes later, behind that same big glass window, there was this big reptile. It was very large, probably about 9.5 feet tall. And he had ridges going down his head, kind of like mohawk. Flat face, no nose, no ears. His mouth went straight across and then up. He was wearing like a tight blue uniform.
Oh, there he is. Look at that.
And, wait, hold on. No, that's one of what was that species in Star Trek Enterprise with the different
Cardassians?
Ones? No, not Cardassians. The
Packlids.
They do look a little bit like the Pack. Actually, they look very Gorn, to be honest. Looks very Gorn.
Gorn. All right.
And I remember I stood up and I said, Jesus Christ. And I said, he's not going to eat me, is he? When I said that, I remember the reptile sighed, like a big inhale and a big exhale.
Pause it a sec. We've got some details about them. So the reptilians, their origin is the Alpha Draconian.
Yep.
Yeah. Their agenda: conquer and destruction.
Conquer and destruction. Yeah, it's. Yep.
Why would you destroy the things that you conquer? That seems a bit silly.
I mean, yeah, they're basically Daleks,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lifespan 500 Earth years, so they're old fellas. Their ship shapes are cigar and teardrop because that's very important.
Yeah. All of their ships are shaped like that because that's.
And I don't know what these next two things mean. Base technologies.
I don't know.
And note R. Yeah.
Maybe they're space pirates.
Army. Basis technologies are. To be honest, that entire slide looks AI generated, including the writing.
Well, somebody, Nikki Lauder typed Gorn, and then got that deleted by somebody.
The Gorn aren't very nice, but you don't need. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, and that earned Nikki an upgrade to moderator, so she can't get that to happen again. And Mark W. Why is Whitson on the left? Lord of Lunas Boo says, I love keeping up with the Cardassians.
Yeah. That could be a good skit, keeping up with the Cardassians.
You know, it was almost like a 9 to 5 to him, like he had seen this before. And the petty after the watch said he's much bigger and stronger than you. If he wanted to, he would have killed you and eaten you by now. And I was just kind of worried and just standing there. I didn't know what to do. And eventually walked out into the actual quarterdeck and was standing there in front of me in the quarterdeck. And there was like a different guard this time, a younger kid. And he had his rifle out too at the ready. So I just started walking with him. I thought, well, I have to do this. I just started walking with him and went to the underground base. And I remember there were things like...
Keep throttling me.
Yeah, Elon told me that he wasn't going to do that. He was going to fix that.
Yeah, he's
for
not.
You. Yeah, I don't know why he hasn't. I mean, if you want, I could call him.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, all right.
He doesn't let me phone him anymore. I just have to throw things at him from across the room.
Yeah. I told him to block you. All right. Right at the top of my favorites list. All right. Elon, dude, look. Craig needs a little boost here on his Starlink stuff. No, I don't care about space ships and all that junk. Listen, when I call you Elon, you gotta jump. All right. I told you this before. All right. Greg needs more bandwidth. I'm going to need you to just boost it a little bit. And if you don't, I'm going to send Bill Nye over to you to fix something, and he'll be puttering around your room.
Tell him I'll send
hours.
Daniel Pratt,
and you won't be able to get rid of him. You know how it is with Yes, I am threatening to send Bill Nye to putter around your office. Okay. Anyway, get it done. Okay, you got it. Good. All right. And I'm live. I want to say it right now. Okay, love you too. Okay.
He gets really upset if you don't tell him that you love him. He pouts all day.
I know. It just never ends. In
You're
the group chat.
You love me.
Yeah.
Yes, Elon, I love you. Do you mean it? Yes, I mean it. Are you mad at me? No, I'm not mad at you. Why are you shouting? It's never ending.
He just needs the affirmation, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Where are we at here?
Craziness.
Wrong. Craziness. Here it is.
And I remember the reptile said, leave us, but he kind of said it like in a voice where it was deeper than any man could be. It was almost like when he said, leave us. It was kind of deeper, and then he had to push that last syllable out. And the kid got up, looked around, looked at me, looked at the weapon. I held the weapon out, he grabbed it, and he walked away. And when I turned around, the reptile was standing right in front of me. and he had like all his muscles flexed and everything. And he was looking over his chest muscles. He's very big. And the first thing that came into my head was, I'm sorry what I said before. You're much more civilized than him about, eating me.
All right. Now, I want to remind everybody again, this story is 100% fabricated.
He's done a lot of detail in this story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, like,
I don't know.
Being about, his chest muscles were here, big. And, it's when you know someone's lying, when they put so much detail in stories.
Well, I mean, do you remember that kid in middle school who's like, so like this weekend I was like out in the streets, and like this whole bunch of guys were like threatening me. They had like nunchucks and Chinese throwing stars, and then like they threatened me, and I'm like, dude, you guys back off. They're like flexing their muscles, and they got their chains out, and I'm like, dude, you don't know who you're messing with. And then, so yeah, I had to beat the piss out of them. I got, I broke, my fingernails a little, that's why my fingernails a little messed up here. So, there's only 14 of them this time. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, my girlfriend, you want to see a picture of my girlfriend? Oh yeah. I got a picture of her in my wallet here. Hey, why is it from a magazine? Dude, it's because she's a model. That's why it's from a magazine.
Yeah. It's the same kid that used to tell me, and this isn't a joke, that a kid at my school would tell me that Michael Jackson would just pop round to his house for tea every now and then.
Hey, of course.
Yeah. Right. Just every now and then, and apparently he really liked to have his chips crispy.
Chips. Michael Jackson's chips would be fries to Americans.
Yeah, no, but Michael Jackson wanted his chips extra crispy. So this boy's mum would put his chips back in the oven for an extra 10 minutes.
All right. So now listen to the story that this guy is telling about the reptile.
They don't have muscles in their face. The only way that you can really tell if they're angry at you or upset is their eyes get smaller. They kind of squint their eyes at you.
They don't have muscles in their face in this lore.
He opened his eyes normal, and he just turned around and he said, follow me. And we eventually got to like a catwalk, like 3 steps, and it had one of those steel doors with like the wheel on it, like a watertight door you see on ships. And I went in, and there was a chair there, and it had holes on it and straps. And he said, get in. And when I saw it, it reminded me of like a gas chamber chair. Like I saw a gas chamber chair one time when I was a kid in the DARE program, like in the 80s, to keep kids off drugs and stuff. They showed us like a gas chamber chair in a trailer. And that's immediately what I thought it was. And I saw the sealed door and everything, and I thought, this thing's trying to kill me. So I went to run, and it grabbed me by the neck, threw me in the chair, it was strapping me in, and I was fighting back to get away. And at first, I think it headbutted me, knocked me.
So, by the way, this is the guy that can see into the future.
Yeah, and has 195 IQ, but couldn't tell that he was about to be forced into some kind of captivity by a massive reptile.
Yeah, and the guy that was, what did he say? Butt something?
Yeah, he was hitting him with the butt of the gun from behind.
But he had a name for it. It was
I don't know, but it's very
butt
specific.
stroking.
Yeah,
butt stroking.
Yeah.
He's getting and so the guy that was butt stroking him, tough guy here, 195 IQ. He just
just took him down.
Judo threw him on the floor, took away his weapon.
I bet he Vulcan nerve pinched him.
Yeah, he's like, never do that again. And the kid's like, oh, okay. And then he left. The kid left. It just left, right? The butt stroker just left. It's okay. All right, here we go. Hold on. Wrong window.
And then when I came to, my entire right side was strapped in. I was undoing the straps, and it grabbed me again by the chest. It kind of pushed me in the chair. I remember his hand was like, the fingers were up here, and his palm was like right here. That's how big it was. And it kind of threw me back in the chair, and it made almost like a growl that an alligator does during mating season, where you can feel the rumble in your chest, like the percussion, but you can't hear it. And then
so
he got closer to me, I could
specific.
hear it, and he said, don't make me hit you again. And when he got close enough, I jammed my thumb in his eye because I was fighting for my life.
Jammed my thumb in its eye. So he's having a fight with this 9.5-foot reptilian
that makes a noise like an alligator in mating season.
Who's trying all alone, right? He was being brought to be strapped into this chair with just the reptilian and a kid that was butt stroking, the butt stroker.
But
right?
why?
And then
why is this happening?
And this guy who can see in the future, didn't see into the future, like did the judo roll on the kid who's now left, right? So it's just him and the reptilian going into the room, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll just go to the room." After the butt stroker left, it's just the reptilian now. Okay.
I think this may be like the story to one of the worst porn movies ever made.
It's great.
I'd never seen anything like this, and it was very scary. And I wasn't acting rational.
Hold on.
And it leaned back and squinted its eye and kind of teared out a little.
Are you hearing the audio?
Yeah. Sorry, I had the itchy ear.
Oh, I'm not hearing you. Hold on a second.
What have you done?
Something happened to my audio.
You've broken it, Toon.
Stop and start. There we go. All right. Were you hearing the audio?
I'm sorry. I'm pissed. I'm mucking about. Yes, I heard it.
Okay. All right. I just had to restart. But I used loopback. Loopback had a little bit of a glitch there. It does that. So anyway.
And it just leaned forward and collapsed my chest, so it pushed against my heart, and I passed out.
Yeah, so he poked him in the eye. Guy pushed him in the chest, and he passed out. And he's being half strapped into the chair.
Woke up, and I was completely trapped in the chair. And I remember he said something like, "I'm sorry I have to do this to you." And he walked out and tightened the door. And earlier, one of the guys in the barracks was telling a story about they're going to put you in a chair, and it's a density chamber. It pushes you artificially from 3rd to 5th density. We're 3rd, but most of the ETs we deal with are 5th density. He said you'll become stronger, faster, your IQ will go up 200 points, and you'll become more of a collector.
Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. His IQ is going to go up. Already it's at 195, but it's going to go up to 395. Oh my God.
It's 395. He's going to be in the 5th density. But the butt stroker and the reptilian, neither of them bothered to tell him that this was a positive thing that we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to make you stronger and faster, but we're going to act like we're going to torture you and force you at gunpoint to go this way.
Well, not gunpoint. The butt stroker's no longer there.
Oh, yeah, but it was gunpoint up until the reptile told them to leave, right? And now it's at 9-foot reptile point.
Yeah, and remember, this is all 100% fabricated. So this I poked the reptilian in the eye is fabricated.
It can't be. He's
the
telling...
butts.
I don't
the
understand. He's saying these
kid
words.
Is fabricated.
No, it makes no sense. How can he be saying these words and they not be true?
It has to be true because he's saying it. Right?
I know, right? That's how it works, I think.
And it felt almost like an out-of-body experience, kind of like cold weightlessness and then like at peace. And then I came to, the straps were undone in the chair, and I saw a man with like blonde hair, slicked back with pomade, like shaved undercut, and he was wearing like one of those black leather trench coats, like a Gestapo. And he was kind of talking to the reptile, but gesturing like he was talking, but not saying anything. And the reptile's back was towards me and was doing the same thing. And it was actually a first-class petty officer on the base. So the XO told me this later on, where, Germany won World War II, basically. Like, World War II was just a battle, but they won the overall war. We were infiltrated by off-world Germans, is what the military called them.
And Germany won World War II.
Off-world Germans, yes. Infiltrated by off-world Germans.
Off-world Germans came to Earth.
No idea.
No
idea.
How are they Germans if they're not from...
Clive Wells says, Witless increased his IQ by 200 points by going through the process. It is now 160.
No. He's increased it by 200 points and it's just 16.0.
It's still 6.
Conquered nation, and they were just posing as U.S. Navy. So this guy was like a first-class petty officer in the Navy, but he was actually in the Dark Fleet, Nachtwaffen. And
Nachtwaffen.
Nachtwaffen.
That. Any Germans in the chat here? What does Nachtwaffen mean?
That means night.
And I kind of fell to my knees, and I was really out of it. Everything was completely different. The colors were different, sound was different, everything was different. Higher realm of reality, I guess you would say.
What's the fifth?
And
the fifth density, of course.
Everything's fifth density of reality. But
yep.
Is he still there?
I don't know. Does he still have this? I don't know.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Find out what Nuchtwaffen is.
We got it. We got a Night Force. Says Nikki
Lucy,
Lauder.
what does Nuchtwaffen mean?
Night Force or Night Weapons?
I've confused her.
It looks like Newtwaffen is likely a combination of nut, a slang term often associated
Nah, she doesn't know. She can't listen. Night Force
Goes
or
up,
something.
your sound frequency goes up. And he
No, just ask something right there. So that recruitment, I mean, there you are in an underground base in England. You're serving with the US
Wales.
Navy. You go through that chair. I mean, you go through that security machine, and you're scanned, and they make a determination that you're suitable for a secret space program, and you're told about the Solar Warden program. But rather than being recruited for the Solar Warden program, you're actually being recruited for this Nuchtwaffen, that they had infiltrated the US Navy and the military to the extent where they would recruit people who would, under false pretenses, that you weren't being recruited for the Solar Warden at all. You were being recruited for this German Dark Fleet.
The Solar Warden, which is I'm unfamiliar with it in their lore. So
right. So
I was being recruited for Solar Warden, but since I poked that reptile in the eye and we're considered so below them, as punishment, I was told later on by the executive officer I was going to do 40 years in the mines of the moon. And what they do is
he was going to do 40 years working in the mines of the moon
because he
poked a reptile. And then after the 40 years, he's telling us what's going to happen after the 40 years. They're going to age regress you.
Time to about 40 years after you do it, and they don't wipe your memory. And most people commit suicide. They're really hard on you. It's like a special punishment they do. But and that's what I was originally doing when I first got into the program. I was in the mines of the moon for 3 months. I asked the XO about this later on.
And look at the other guy. The other guy's like, yeah,
cool. This guy's been on the moon mining, just totally normal.
He was slave labor doing work on mines of the moon for 40 years.
Right. But he's gone from being one of the smartest people on Earth already for having a 195 IQ.
195,
being selected for the secret space program, forced by gunpoint to go sit in a chair, and then attacked by a lizard person, forced into the chair more, without being told that the chair was a good thing that would actually make him stronger and increase his IQ to 395. But because he fought back and poked the reptile in the eye, they didn't let him go through the process and instead put him to mine on the moon.
Yes, for months. There he is, with a 395 IQ, a fifth density being working in the mines of the moon. Man, I mean, that's so beneath him.
Nuchtwaffen apparently means dark fleet.
Yeah, dark fleet. Yeah, Waffen is like what they call their Air Force, something like that, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Well, you forgot, Craig. He turned down his own 4-kilometer starship.
Yeah, of course. And now he has to mine in the moon.
Yeah, and he can see the future.
But he didn't see any of this coming. No. He never saw the fact that he would be mining on the moon.
His 195 IQ didn't cause him to think
395. 395.
Well, there was still 195 at the time.
Right,
His 195 IQ didn't say, "Hey, person, since you have a 195 IQ and you can see into the future, you should totally just be seeing into the future all the time to make sure that it's all working out for you in the best."
Yeah.
In
fact, any time when he wakes up, he should go, right, before I do anything for today, right, that's what I'm going to do.
Check out what's good. Yeah. What actually happened in reality is this guy was 19 years old and his dad died of a heart attack.
Yeah, and it maybe gave him some mental issues.
He definitely has some mental issues because of that. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You've got Michael Salla here, Dr. Michael Salla, who's platforming this guy who says these things that are obviously nuts.
Toon.
But I think a lot of these people have similar backstories.
Do you think that we could just make up some crazy story and get on to his show.
Do you think that I wasn't going to be introducing that idea later?
I don't know, but I totally think we should do it. I mean, Toon, I am ex-British Royal Navy with
of course.
secret clearance.
You can be the whistleblower.
I can go and I can talk about how, I remember this guy that had 195 IQ and he went down this corridor and just seemed to disappear and we never saw him again. There's rumors about him mining on the moon.
So what you need to do is you need to be familiar with all of their lore. So this probably is going to have to be something we review a little more.
Should we do it? Should we?
Yeah.
Should we get me on his show? And
I think both of us.
We've
Why
both
not?
been. Oh, do we know each other from the military then, or?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Because we both were.
Oh wait, no.
I was
you write security software, don't you?
Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Oh yeah, of course you were. Yeah, and you've got a background in security analysis and stuff, which is why you were part of the program. Of course, my expertise is in nuclear power, so of course they introduced me to know all about the actual real power that is used.
Free energy, yeah.
Yeah, the free energy, because I understood how nuclear power worked so well that they decided to introduce the free energy to me and explain how the starships are powered. And then I helped design engines for a 4-kilometer starship. And I remember this time we offered a 4-kilometer starship to a really intelligent guy and he turned it down and we were all really upset.
Yeah, that would have been so good for the fleet.
Yeah. The dark fleet that's run by Germans that are outer space Germans, actually. It's very interesting.
Like, it's not difficult to break into their lore.
No.
You just have to be compatible with it. That's it. And you can add your own chapter.
Oh my god! I just hope he never looks at my channel. But I think we could. Yeah, I think we can fuck with him.
Yeah.
And a German officer came up to me while I was in the mines and scanned me with something. I guess he could see my scores were high, and then I got recruited into Knockwalk, Dark Fleet. After he realized that I had high scores, they want you to have at least 110 IQ to even be in the mines of the moon. Something about the density change. Your mind can't handle it unless you're like above average intelligence.
The density change.
Even to work in the mines of the moon, unless it's for a special punishment, they want you to have.
So somebody that has 195 IQ would never say something like the density change. That's pure BS.
Yeah, of course. Well, no, he did get changed from the 1st to the 5th density, so I guess there was a density change for him in his lore.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in reality, this guy's IQ is somewhere around 80.
But apparently you can't even be forced to mine on the moon unless you've got a high enough IQ. You still need a really high IQ to go and actually mine on the moon. And was he alone, or is there a bunch of other people mining on the moon? And are they all also super intelligent people that failed this process?
Yeah, this gets filled in later.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
110 IQ just for that, because something about the density shift, the density change, is very difficult for people to accept unless you have above average intelligence. So yeah, and then after that, I was in Nachtwaffen, and I did things like a lot of it was on Mars.
A lot of it was just casually. Just by the way, I not only was on the moon, I was also on the 4th planet from the sun. Just so you know.
Look at Michael Sala, the host here. He does his sentient eyebrows don't even move up when the guy says, I was on Mars.
Yeah, well, they're busy sucking all the nutrients from his body.
Yeah.
Throughout this video, he has become noticeably thinner and paler as the eyebrows drain the life from his body. Yep. They're the species, the ladies we haven't heard about
insectoids,
yet.
mantises, beings like that. They're very good with DNA manipulation.
Before we talk about
mantises, are very good with DNA manipulation. So here
it's
we have
amazing
another.
How all these aliens look like things from Earth, like reptiles and mantises.
Reptilians, the greys, the mantids. Yep. And the guy's like, well, wait a second. I want to back up to something totally not related to you just tossing out that you were on Mars.
Yeah, I'm just going to gloss
talk about
over
this
that.
moon base. So this moon base.
Oh, jeez. My audio stopped again.
Oh, I can hear it.
You're taken there as punishment for poking that reptilian in the eye. You were going to go serve in Solar Warden, but now you've been kind of circumvented. You go to the moon as punishment, and then at some point the Nakwaffen notices your intelligence, your scores, and says, "Okay, you can join us." Now, I just wanted to kind of point out that this moon base that you say where slaves are taken and where the reptilians have some role. This is something that I don't know if you have heard of Niara Islay, but she served with the U.S. Air Force from 1981 to 1984.
So this is another LARPer, apparently that he's interviewed.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is all LARPing, of course. All of this, but they're not presenting it as LARPing. They're claiming that it's real.
What if this Daryl James is just doing what we're planning on doing, and it's just fucking with him?
Yes. Yep.
That's what I hope is going on here.
The problem is, we get into a little bit of the sickness in his mind later, right? Because he's inventing this. He can invent whatever he wants to invent as long as it's compatible with the lore.
Yeah.
But what he does invent is very disturbing.
Right. Okay.
She was taken to the moon as well as punishment. Because she saw a spacecraft at Tonopah Test Range, where she was a kind of radar operator, and she was supposed to track this UFO but not see it. But somehow she went outside and saw it, and so they punished her by sending her to the moon. But it sounds like, either she went to the same place because she described slave labor, being abused, being exploited as a female, and this was all happening at this underground moon base.
Yes, I actually met a woman there that was on the base. She was a nurse. Her first name was April. I guess.
All right, it's about to take a turn.
Right. Okay, I'm prepared.
It's very dark. I this is where you'll see I had some editing will show up now.
But there were women there that your only motivation to work was sex. If you were like one of the men still working on the moon, and they had brothels there.
All right, so this black spot here is where he cut off the YouTube, and it's only from here on Rumble.
Rumble, right?
So that's why this I put this black in here as a note to myself.
And I remember them like taking the babies away from women. You know, as they were nursing, that women crying and things like that. And I found out, if the baby didn't have a high enough intelligence score, they didn't think it was going to, be of any use in their programs. They would actually take those babies and they would, there were caverns. Later on, the XO told me this. There are caverns, like caves underneath all underground bases. And in these caverns, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it because of YouTube and stuff, but it's for, thing of.
Right, yeah, we've got to be careful with the YouTube censors here.
Yeah, they use those things, is what I was told. And caverns in the underground base is what there's caves in these underground bases with elongated skulls, grays, reptilians, things like that, and they live in these caverns in the earth. But yeah, the babies that don't have a high enough score, I guess, like that, they'll take them and they'll put them into these cages. And what they do is they're stacked, kind of like dog kennels. They're stacked. I got a chance to see them when I came back from the program. I was to be tortured by Kino as part of the punishment after coming back from the 20-year impact, even more. And it was just like a part I wasn't supposed to live through. So I got to see certain things. And the XO later on told me that they run a current through these cages. They're all connected, which causes the adrenaline to kick in, knock the kids out. They were very pale, pure white. Their hair was matted.
So let me remind you, this guy has invented this story. He could have invented anything he wanted, but this is what he chose to invent.
I was told they were feral. I remember one of them kind of like lunged forward in the cage and slammed their hands on the front of the cage. And the XO told me she would have attacked you if she would have gotten out. And she told me that they were feral because they were never held, or they don't speak, they can't speak. They're just like feral animals. And after they electrocute them with a current and it kicked the adrenaline in, they strap them to a table. They put like a IV kind of in the back of their head, like almost like a spinal tap where their skull and their spine meet. And that's how they draw the adrenochrome out. And that's where they get the drug. A lot of them pass away, a lot of them die.
Yeah, I think that's the only usage of that word in my edited version. I missed that one. Yeah. So for reference, that particular biological compound is not difficult to manufacture. It's rather inexpensive to manufacture.
Yeah.
The contents of an EpiPen. The contents of an EpiPen contain a compound very, very similar to it. So manufacturing it is super simple. So it just got turned up to 11, didn't it? It took a turn instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly. I mean, this guy could have invented any story. This is the story he invented. So that's why I put this on the screen.
So there's enough slave labor that there's enough women that are having babies that are feral that they've got just cages of them.
Yeah, if they don't have a high enough IQ. And this is not just on the moon.
Only the ones that don't have a high enough IQ.
Yeah, he says this is under all of the deep underground military bases, DUMB. So you hear the word dumb. That's what they mean. These things don't exist at all. They've invented this, the deep underground military bases.
Yeah.
So when he talked about that place in Scotland, in
Wales,
near Wales,
yeah,
that was that's what he was talking about, was a deep underground base there.
Yeah, he's claiming that the Air Force Base in Wales, St. Agatha, where it has these deep underground secret things that are home to several different species of aliens.
Yes.
One species that can just take apart Dell computers with its fingers. Another species that forces you into chairs and you poke it in the eye and get sent to the moon.
Another that manipulates DNA.
That are also like mantises. And there's another that are apparently Swedish aliens.
Yes. Yep. They're the good ones, I think. Let me read a few things here. We got
the good ones. Right, okay.
CV McCullough, we need a little cleansing. CV McCullough says Batman doesn't wear a shirt with his name because people know who the F he is. Mark Sargent needs a sash with his name on it to let people know who he is.
No, you are wrong. It's so he knows who he is. Except he gets very confused. He stands in front of a mirror and he's like, I've forgotten how to read. Because he sees the back to front and it confuses him.
In the mirror. Steve660 says, is it safe to look at the moon through a P1 million? No, it will freeze your eyeball, of course. Duh, everybody knows that. I already read it, but Lord Illuminous Pooh says, I love keeping up with the Cardassians. Eddie Reese says, good old feck you. I think they have a good chance against Bunk Science University, BSU, as long as McFlatty plays left out.
McFlatty's normally left out in the locker room.
Always is. Even when there's an even number of people, not only is he picked last, he's the one that doesn't get to play.
Yeah. Why don't McFlatty, you go and get the water? No, from the other room. No, the other building.
The dehydrated water.
Yeah.
Not this liquidy stuff. We need the dehydrated.
Yeah, go to the store, get the dehydrated water, and then come back. And if we're still playing, you can serve us some.
Yes. NA says, my internet provider told me it's unlimited until I exceed 1 terabyte.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Starlink told me that I would have unlimited, super fast broadband until I reached the cap that they arbitrarily decide because there is no number. It just depends on the capacity of the day based on what satellites are near me.
That sucks. If it was a hard number, then you could say, well, okay, I get it. I made an informed decision.
But no.
Yeah, that's too bad. PJ says, shenanigans. Nachtwaffen shenanigans. Look, the next one of you to say shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
I don't remember the rest of the line. The first part of Super Troopers is hilarious. When they tried to actually get to the plot, don't need to watch anymore. Stephen McCullough says, not to be mean, but Daryl is the most sexually ambiguous person I've seen since It's Pat. Why is he with the older English guy in every movie ever?
It's a good question.
CB McCullough again comes in with, he's not the only one that can predict the future, because I had the Achrome stuff on my bingo card. He's predictable. Q for the masses.
Yeah, definitely. So is that right? I've seen there's like another hour of this.
Yes. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think
part 2 for sure.
I think we can pause it there.
Yes.
And watch from here on, because it does get darker, but it is also crazier. I edited out the really dark parts. So and then so he does he does like this kind of descent into nutcasery. Then he gets to the other stories that are a little more funny. They're not so dark about, but I just have to say, the kind of person that makes up a story and puts this stuff in that made up story about himself, right? Not like fiction stuff that is just designed as fiction. Like, he's claiming it was him. He's claiming it really happened.
Yeah.
That's out there. Let's see. CB McCullough says, I had some dehydrated water, but I didn't know what to add. Any help would be great.
Yeah, well, you need to get the water to add to the dehydrated water, but the problem is you can only use dehydrated water to add to the dehydrated water. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So, I mean...
2 parts dehydrated water?
Yeah, to 1 part dehydrated water.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfectly. All right. So, all right. You got some more on your side there?
Mr. Shunk for $5 says, do you think he's reading it off of something, or is he just making it up as we go along? I'm pretty sure he's got notes.
Yeah.
But I'm also pretty sure that he is making up a bunch of it as he goes along. That's what all the little details are. All the little details are the things that he is just making up as he goes along.
But this isn't the first interview that he's had. I found about 10 of them. I haven't watched the other ones to see if it's consistent, but in this community, your lore needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
Right?
No. I'm going to study this lore, and I'm going to get on his channel.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well, you have to start out with the minor players in this realm. You got to work your way up to Michael Sala. I mean, he's the guy.
Oh yeah, but I was part of the Solar Warden program. In fact, I was put in charge of it after they found out that my IQ was 450.
And you had the 4-kilometer spaceship.
Yeah. Well, they.
Yes, I don't know if
who would turn down the 4-kilometer spaceship. The thing is, they don't just offer the 4-kilometer spaceships to anyone, right? And if when you're offered the 4-kilometer spaceships, you turn it down, you're actually put on a blacklist, and then you're not allowed to know the real things that are going on, and you kind of get sent to the moon mines and that to kind of be kept in the dark slightly.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew everything that when I was put in charge, because when you're in charge of the ship, you've obviously got to know like all of the details about who you're going to speak to on the way and everything. So they gave me a book which had a list of all the species that I'm meeting out in the different densities. So and I mean, I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say here, obviously, because I could get in trouble.
All the different densities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, make sure you get all of them.
All 9 of them.
Densities. Yeah.
Of course,
there's 9.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're kind of let to know a little bit about it, you got to the 5th density, but that's just like not the real stuff. That's kind of, you don't know all the secrets there. When you go up to 9th, that's when it really happens.
Is that? Yeah, I think I saw that on South Park talking about Scientology.
Yeah, and that's when you can taste the color blue, and see the number 9.
All right. Well, we will we'll park this for a future one. Next week.
Wait. We're just looking into the future to check. Yep, next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. I could see that. Yeah, definitely. I was checking there. Next Wednesday. Yeah, we're going to be back. Yeah,
we're going to be back with who's it going to be? It's going to be.
Hold on, I'm getting Joe.
Hill.
Joe. I'm getting a Joe. Is that right?
Joe Hill.
Joe Hill, yeah, Joe Hill, yeah, the guy.
1 week from today.
Yeah.
I will be keeping you in check.
Yeah, although he wants to debate both of us apparently.
Make it so.
Yeah, he's still convinced that there is just one axis of star rotation.
Yeah, so goofy.
I
Stephen McCullers says, how many FTFEs does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know. How many FTFEs does it take to change a light bulb?
None. Tough guys are not afraid of the dark.
I'm not afraid of the dark. You're afraid of the dark.
No, I'm not.
Hey, so you know when you were a kid, right? And you go to the toilet at night, and then you'd have to run to your bed because that monster with the knife would be chasing you, right?
No.
Why did the monster stop when you got under your covers?
I don't know what you're talking about. I chased the monster. So it's the other way around.
Right. But
Yeah.
the point is, why were you safe under your covers? If the monster would have eaten your brains...
I don't know. Yeah, and why is there, if you put your foot on the floor, you're not safe. But if you have it up, you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but also, if your foot's out the cover at the end, they can still get that.
Yeah, you got to bring it under. Of course, everybody knows that. Oh. So,
Adam Johnson, £5 says, I'm catching up with the stream before you eat them. They are a scone after you eat them. They are a scone. Yeah, yes.
That's
scone.
I got it. Got it. All right, people. You ready to... I'm going to play the rap song that you and I were in.
You should.
Yep. You got your outro to go?
It's always ready. Well, after the rap
sh-
song, I'm going to play some airplanes and then go to bed.
All right. Should we do a countdown?
3, 2, 7. Wait, hold on. I don't hear it. I'll play it on my side.
All right. I'm not sending mine to you.
All right, well, I've got to play it on my side as well then.
Yes. Here we go.
MCToon, drop that beat.
All right. Let it flow. Let yourself go. So I know that is the tempo.
So, yeah, let's do this. So
let's do this. Yo, it's MCToon, the debunking tycoon. I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic like a deflated balloon.
Oh, MCToon, the one soon cartoons. On your real say, send Flerfs to their dues. Your theories are like old brooms, sweeping ignorance or just spreading the fumes.
FTFE stands for fumbling the facts, evidently. I drop truth bombs so splendidly. Your approach is soft, mine's unrelenting. I bring the science while you're just venting.
MCToon, the flipping with a silver spoon. I tackle pseudoscience, make them change their tune. You're the sidekick, I'm the room. When it comes to debunking, I'm the room.
So you don't need the toilet anymore. Why? Because your body has reabsorbed all of what was contained in your bladder that you would consider waste. But it's not waste, or your body would, there's no way it would have reabsorbed it.
To the dizzle dizzle, in the rizzle dizzle. But hey, FTFE, we share the creed to educate and debunk, plant the seed. Though in this rap, it's clear indeed I've got the upper hand, then word indeed. All right, hold on a second. The Zoom call died. Everything died.
Oh, crap.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
Good
morning. These words come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that's comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible. No one, Mr. Sensible. When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random nonsense dressed up as bullshit. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first, full speed into a wall. You could always read a book, buy a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon onto the stratosphere on page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a
You're Mr.
fruitcake.
Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need the hassle of burying Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. MCToon did everything to wipe the grins off the face. So Nathan, get away from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lid. Recognise the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the well of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe your musical assault will knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realise you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see, and acknowledge the existence of.
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all foam and no beer. You don't have all your dogs on one leash. An intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of a boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit short of a full bowl.
Airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. Should be wishing for a bring right now, bring right now, bring right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a bring right now, bring right now, bring right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging pieces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I rit up on your mum's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you taught a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them. And I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. That was a fun one, a nice bit of difference. Thank you very much MCToon for coming in and keeping me slightly sane, I guess. I mean, we all know I'm not sane, so I don't know why I'm saying that. My camera's blurry. Maybe it needs a clean. Oh, that's better. High definition all of a sudden. Yeah, I've had a great time tonight, and I hope you have as well. Be back tomorrow with a stream where I'm going to talk about my mistakes in my debate with Joe, and try and explain myself a little bit better. Also, I'm going to have a bit of a deep conversation with you guys about my mental health and answer any questions that you may have. So see you tomorrow. Until then, remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flatter. 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 The crane. Fight the flatter. 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 Fight the flatter.
is Nathan Oakley, and I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
I'm a dumb flat earther, and I don't understand science.
Level. 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 Level.